We'll finally get our portable space today. I wonder what talent mine will awaken. I'm praying for a planting talent. I just want to farm in peace. Whatever it is, just give me a 5-star talent. Best case, gold. Gold? You're dreaming. I don't even dare imagine that. Voices overlapped across the massive square. Tens of thousands of 18-year-old boys and girls packed the open ground, faces full of excitement and nerves, chatting in tight circles like the answer would appear if they talked about it enough. Today decided their future. Lin Feng stood off to the side, silent, not joining the noise. He wasn't from this world. He had transmigrated into a parallel Earth where spiritual energy had awakened decades ago. But instead of lifting humanity up, that awakening attracted invaders. Alien races poured in. Humans were pushed to the brink again and again. Even the planet's spiritual energy was seized and occupied. Then, 10 years after the spiritual revival, a rule appeared for all humans. When you turn 18, you awaken a portable space. A personal dimension, 10 by 10 meters. 100 square meters in total. Absolutely secure. No one could enter it, no matter how strong they were, unless the owner died. Portable spaces weren't all the same. Each one awakened with a talent. Some talents were priceless. A planting talent could nurture spirit herbs and mutant crops faster and with stronger medicinal effects. An acceleration talent could speed up time inside. 10 days inside might equal 1 day outside. Cultivating in that space meant saving years of real time. A gravity talent allowed the owner to adjust gravity, even dozens of times Earth's level, turning the space into a brutal training ground. These were the talents people dreamed about. And then there were talents that were awkward. A construction talent, for example, could build structures quickly and neatly inside the space. Useful in theory, but in a world fighting alien races, nobody was impressed by fancy walls. Some people awakened the talent of large, more area than others, more storage, but no special effect beyond that. Talents had 2 ways to be judged. First, star rating, from 1 star to 5 star. Same talent, different stars, totally different value. A 5-star acceleration space could reach a 10 times time flow. 10 days inside, 1 day outside. A 1-star version might only double time. 2 days inside, 1 day outside. Second, color, which represented rarity. White, yellow, red, orange, gold. Gold was the rarest. Not every rare talent was automatically the best, but most of the time, rarity meant power. And acceleration talent? That was a gold-tier talent. Portable spaces could also be expanded later, but it wasn't free. Expansion depended on the owner's strength and required massive amounts of spirit stones. Still, humanity had survived and rebuilt because of these spaces. With them, humans regained ground, stabilized their cities, and even began launching counterattacks against the alien races. So, for the tens of thousands gathered here, the space they awakened today would shape everything. A good talent and a high star rating meant a smooth future. Even average talents could land you a stable position with major factions. Planting and gravity spaces were always wanted. Elemental affinities like fire or metal were popular too. But an acceleration space? That was the kind of talent that made every major force fight like mad. If your talent was trash, though, unless your cultivation ability was exceptional, or you had powerful backing, your future narrowed fast. You'd end up doing low-level work in the city just to survive. Around him, everyone looked eager, but it was the kind of eagerness that trembled. Lin Feng stayed calm. In his previous life, he'd climbed up from nothing. By his 20s, he was already a self-made millionaire. Pressure didn't shake him easily. And he wasn't helpless here either. His cultivation talent was strong. Even if his space talent turned out mediocre, his path wouldn't be completely blocked. It's 12. It's happening. Quiet, quiet. The square fell silent as the clock tower hands approached noon. The second hand ticked. 59. Then it jumped. 12 o'clock. At that instant, countless tiny points of light appeared in the sky like drifting sparks, then rained down, each one striking its target perfectly. I got it, someone shouted, laughing out loud, and vanished on the spot. Then more. And more. People disappeared in waves, pulled into their newly awakened spaces. Lin Feng felt the light enter him. And the next second, he was gone too. In only a few breaths, the square emptied, leaving behind only tiny, nearly invisible specks of light scattered across the ground. Those were anchor points. A portable space always left an external pin where the owner entered. Enter from that point, exit back to that point. It was the space's location in the real world. Anchor points weren't easy to destroy, but powerful people could do it. And if your anchor point was destroyed, you had 1 minute to exit your space. Otherwise, you would never return. Is this my portable space? Lin Feng stood in a silent, empty world and slowly scanned his surroundings. The ground was perfectly flat, not even a hint of soil. It didn't look like something you could dig up or break either. If he wanted to plant anything, he'd have to bring soil in himself. There was air, but it felt thin, like it wouldn't last forever. Still, that wasn't a real problem. As long as he opened a small passage, he could draw in fresh air from Earth. The space itself was a neat square, 10 meters by 10 meters. All around was a gray, wall-like substance. Lin Feng tried punching it. It was soft to the touch, almost like rubber, but it wouldn't tear or crack no matter how much force he used. The ceiling, he couldn't even see it clearly. Dozens of meters high at least. A bit small, he muttered. Then he caught himself. 100 square meters wasn't actually small at all. Before transmigrating, 100 square meter apartment in a city would be considered comfortable. And the usable part usually didn't even match what you paid for. He shook his head with a silent curse. In the center of the space floated a ball of light. Lin Feng reached in. The light snapped onto his wrist like it had been waiting for him, forming a ring-shaped mark. He instantly understood. This was his key. With that imprint, he could enter and leave his space whenever he wanted. A moment later, information appeared before his eyes. Space Master, Lin Feng. Space Talents, Acceleration, Gold, Beast Mastery, Gold, Planting, Red, Gravity, Orange, Thunder Affinity, Red, Fire Affinity, Red, Mutation, Red, Area, White, Evolution, Gold, 100x Evolution. And more. Space Area, 100 square meters. Space Level, 1. Space Log, Viewable. The panel was simple. Almost too simple. But the moment Lin Feng's eyes landed on the talent list, his calm shattered. He stared. Then stared harder. His brain refused to accept what he was seeing. This has to be a joke. The talent column was absurdly long, so long it made his eyes blur. He started counting one by one. 1, 2, 5, 10, 18, 25. By the time he finished, his throat had gone dry. Over 30 talents. His portable space didn't just have 1 talent, or 2, or 3. It had everything. A full set. And every single one was 5-star. In this world, 99% of people awakened a portable space with only 1 talent. 2 talents was rare enough that people would talk about it for years. 3 talents? That kind of person would be fought over, especially if the combination was strong. Gravity plus acceleration alone could make a prodigy. 4 talents was practically legend tier. But Lin Feng's space? It wasn't 4. It was a complete collection. Trash talents, useful talents, rare talents, even gold tier ones that almost never appeared. All stacked together like someone had deliberately stuffed the entire talent pool into one space. It took him a long time to breathe normally again. Then he made a decision, sharp and immediate. This can't be exposed. A full talent portable space wasn't a blessing you could show off. It was a target painted on his back. If the major powers found out, they wouldn't just recruit him. They'd trap him, monitor him, control him. And if they couldn't control him, they'd make sure he never had a chance to grow into someone they couldn't handle. They didn't need Lin Feng. They needed his space. So no matter what, this secret stayed buried until the day he was strong enough that nobody could force his hand. And even then, keeping it hidden would still be safer. While he was thinking, Lin Feng noticed something strange. The space was expanding. The walls were moving outward like the world itself was stretching. He pulled up the space log and saw the reason. Event. Area talent activated. Initial space expanded by 100x. So that was it. A 5-star area talent didn't just make the space a little bigger. It multiplied the starting size by 100. In the span of moments, the space blew up from 100 square meters to 10,000 square meters. A square 100 meters by 100 meters. Even the height rose. Only now did it finally feel like a real world instead of a box. Lin Feng exhaled slowly. I'll go back first. Then I'll figure out how to use all of this. A space like this, used correctly, meant one thing. A terrifying rise. He took one last look around, opened the exit passage, and stepped out. The moment he returned, the anchor point vanished behind him. The square was no longer quiet. It was chaos. Recruiters from every major force were shouting at the top of their lungs, trying to snatch up anyone with rare talents. The Night's Watch is recruiting planting, acceleration, gravity, and elemental affinity owners. Join us and get 10 spirit stones up front, plus monthly resources. Jushin Group wants all planting and acceleration talents. We specialize in biotech. Planting owners are our strongest core. Acceleration and fire affinity. Come to Chien Pavilion, you won't regret it. Everywhere Lin Feng looked, people were being surrounded. A young man suddenly burst out laughing like he'd lost his mind. Ha ha, mine is a 3-star acceleration talent. The reaction was instant. Recruiters swarmed him from all directions. Little brother, join Zai Pavilion. Acceleration burns spirit stones. Without a big force backing you, you can't even use it properly. Don't listen to him. Zai Pavilion is small time. Our group has multiple divisions and real resources. Arguments, promises, threats disguised as smiles. The scramble was happening all over the square. Some lucky ones were treated like treasures. Some with weak talents were ignored on sight, faces sinking as they realized what they'd awakened. The big forces didn't even need to check everyone's status panels. They could read it on people's expressions. And no one noticed the one person in the crowd who had awakened something unheard of. Lin Feng lowered his gaze, turned, and quietly left the square. Even without the full talent space, he wouldn't have joined any force blindly. With it, he'd be insane to step into someone else's cage.
Hey everyone, Firescale Audiobooks here. If there's a novel you'd love to hear more of, you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi. Depending on your tier, I'll make extra parts just for the stories you're most excited about. Usually I can only upload 4 to 5 parts of each novel, but with your support, we can go beyond that. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. It helps more than you know.
Little brother, what kind of talent is your space? As long as it's not too bad, we'll accept it. At the edge of the square, Lin Feng also met some people. These people are basically people from some small forces, and these people are here to pick up leaks. That is to pick up some people that the big forces don't want. Lin Feng shook his head. My spatial talent is rubbish, you don't like it. After speaking, he left. Those people didn't bother either. Soon, Lin Feng returned to his residence, a 2-bedroom apartment of about 60 square meters. The major cities in the world are fighting each other and supporting each other. The space in the city is very expensive. It is difficult to have a 60 square meter 2-bedroom apartment. This is no exaggeration. Except for those powerful evolutionaries, or those with outstanding spatial talent, the average living area of ordinary people is only a dozen square meters. As a transmigrator, Lin Feng's 18 years have not been in vain. Still relying on his previous life experience, he made some money and bought a 2-bedroom apartment. Meow. As soon as Lin Feng entered the house, he heard the cat's meow, and then a fluffy kitten jumped into Lin Feng's arms. This is a short-tailed cat raised by Lin Feng. Lin Feng named her Tong Tong. Tong Tong is a little female cat. She looks cute and her favorite thing is to nest in Lin Feng's arms. Lin Feng carried Tong Tong into the house, then closed the door and locked it. After locking it, Lin Feng opened the portable space. Let's go, Tong Tong, I'll show you something new. Lin Feng touched Tong Tong's soft fur and entered the portable space. The portable space is still empty. Meow. Tong Tong raised her head and looked around curiously. After looking at it for a while, she didn't see anything, so she lost interest and lay lazily in Lin Feng's arms, dozing off. Cats are nocturnal animals, so when Tong Tong is at night, don't be too energetic. Of course, she is a sensible cat, and she will not disturb Lin Feng to sleep at night. Most of the time, she is in Lin Feng's arms, with her eyes wide open, and she is in a daze. Lin Feng held Tong Tong, opened the panel of the space, and thought about the usage of the portable space. There must be plants, preferably mutant plants. Lin Feng thought. Planting talent is a red talent, but it does not mean that this talent is useless. This talent does not need to consume resources and does not require manual operation. Generally speaking, talents that need to be activated manually have a time limit, such as acceleration talents. To plant a gifted portable space, you only need to plant plants in it and provide enough water and air to the plants, and the plants will be able to grow faster. If it is a common plant, the fruit will be more delicious and more nutritious. If it is a mutant plant, such as a spiritual plant, it can also increase its medicinal power. However, if mutant plants are planted in this portable space, it is best to have aura for the mutant plants to absorb, and the effect will be many times better. Now, most of the spiritual springs of Earthstar are controlled by aliens, and the aura in the air of Earthstar is very thin. If you want spiritual energy, the best way is to find a spiritual stone, crush it, and put it in your portable space. Planting talent must be used. What about the others? Acceleration talents are also useful. Lin Feng can use acceleration talents in his own practice. The 5-star acceleration talent, when the space level is 1, can now be activated for 5 hours a day. If you want a longer time, you have to invest in spirit stones. The longer the cumulative activation time within a certain period of time, the more spirit stones you invest. That is to say, even if there is no spirit stone, Lin Feng can turn a day into 50 plus 24-5 or 69 hours by using the acceleration talent. It's been almost 3 days. The gravity talent, like the acceleration talent, needs to be activated manually, and the gravity talent can only affect one area. These are all spatial talents that are helpful for cultivation. As for thunder element affinity, fire element, wind element, earth element, light element, dark element, ice element affinity, etc., the space talents of such element affinity are passive talents. Evolvers who master the powers of thunder, fire, wind, etc. will have a multiplier effect when they practice in the portable space. Beast fighting talent and evolutionary talent. At this time, Lin Feng saw these two talents. These two are golden talents and they are rare. The beast fighting talent of the portable space can control and cultivate some beasts through the portable space, and the portable space has the function of the beast fighting space. And the evolutionary talent. Seems to have never heard of it. One extra. Lin Feng thought. Among the 30 kinds of talents summarized by human beings, there is no evolutionary talent. Moreover, behind the evolutionary talent, there is an explanation. 100 times evolution. What do you mean, is this my golden finger? Lin Feng thought. Lin Feng clicked on the detailed description of the evolutionary talent. Space talent. Evolution talent, 100 times evolution. Plants, none at the moment, automatically enjoy the growth brought by talent after planting for a period of time. Animals, none at the moment, you can contract an animal at present. After the contract is generated, when the animal voluntarily obtains a drop of blood from the animal, the contract can be completed. The growth enjoyed by the owner of the space is the maximum for all plants and animals. These two talents can be used together. Lin Feng thought. After thinking about it, Lin Feng decided to make use of these two talents. That is, beast-controlling talent and evolutionary talent. The full talent of the portable space is too amazing to be exposed, so no one else can be let in. But some talents are too wasteful not to use. Since humans can't be let in, let's choose animals. Tong Tong, it's just you. Lin Feng touched Tong Tong and decided to try it with Tong Tong first. Take a drop of blood first, don't be afraid. Lin Feng went back to the bedroom and took out a needle. Tong was a little scared, but Lin Feng touched her and she quieted down. Thus, Lin Feng successfully obtained a drop of Tong's blood. After obtaining Tong's blood, Lin Feng chose to generate a contract in the panel in the portable space. After the contract was formed, Lin Feng dripped blood on it and successfully signed the contract. Tong, no matter where I go in the future, I can take you away. After signing the contract with Tong, Lin Feng still has some things to do. The portable space is still empty. Lin Feng planned the personal space. Decided to set aside a piece of land for planting. There is also an area for children's activities. I also need an area. If I go out of the city in the future, it is still very safe in the portable space. Although there are anchor points, as long as the anchor points are well hidden, others may not be able to find them. He first prepared a lot of water and food in the portable space, which is to use the portable space as storage space. It just so happens that among the talents of the portable space, there is the talent of stillness. Some people's personal space has the gift of stillness. That is, the time in the personal space is still. This is the standard storage space. What is some food thrown in and what it is when it is taken out? In such a portable space, the owner of the space cannot enter, nor can living beings enter. Lin Feng's portable space is full of talent, and naturally, he also has this talent. Stillness was originally a passive talent, but since Lin Feng's space is a full talent, this talent did not take effect. Because once it takes effect, it will conflict with other talents. Requires Lin Feng to take effect manually. Therefore, Lin Feng chose an area, framed it with things, and set it as a static area, just for storing things. In this way, the food is placed there without worrying about spoilage. The warm water that cools down after boiling, put it there and take it out later. The temperature will not change. There is much more to do. After being busy for a long time, Lin Feng also went out to buy a lot of things, all of which were moved into the portable space. After these things were done, Lin Feng came to a special market. Here, today is also very lively. Nutritional soil is nutritious soil. 1,000 yuan per ton is absolutely cheap. I have spiritual soil here. Although the spiritual power in it is very sparse, its value is not comparable to that of ordinary nutrient soil. Yep, it's for sale here. Many people buy land here every day. The portable space is empty, and if you want to grow something, soil is a must. Bring me 100 tons of this spiritual soil. Lin Feng took out a large stack of money and directly bought 100 tons of spiritual soil, making the boss happy. It is said that it is spiritual soil, but the spiritual power inside is actually very small. How can a really good thing be sold here? Lin Feng bought another 100 tons of nutrient soil and bought some materials specially made for the portable space. All of them were stuffed into the portable space. After spending most of the day getting these things done, he left here. After returning home, Lin Feng entered the portable space. Meow. Tong is here. Tong, why do I feel you have changed? At this time, Lin Feng found that Tong seemed to have some changes. It's a little bigger, but it's not the biggest change. The biggest change is that Tong's eyes have a different feeling to Lin Feng, and it seems to be more spiritual. When Lin Feng was busy in the afternoon, Tong was always in the portable space. Lin Feng put a lot of toys for her and used up the 5 hours of the portable space acceleration talent every day. This is to try to accelerate the effect of talent. It means that Lin Feng was busy for a few hours in the afternoon, while Tong spent more than 60 hours in the portable space. It's been nearly 3 days. Meow. At this time, Tong showed another change in her. She jumped several meters high with a slight jump. This jumping ability is a bit amazing. Meow. After the jump, Tong rubbed Lin Feng with her little head again. It's hungry. It was only then that Lin Feng noticed that she had already eaten all the food that was prepared for her in the afternoon for several days. It's really edible. Is this because of evolution? Lin Feng knows that Tong's current change must be related to the evolutionary talent of space and the talent of 100-fold evolution. During the new book period, every bit of data is important and can encourage the confidence of the author to write. If you think this book is still delicious, Please vote for free flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation votes. Welcome to leave a message in the comment area. More data will be added. 2,000 flowers plus one more. 500 evaluation votes plus one more. 5 tips, regardless of the amount, plus one change. Thanks for your support. We will surely present a wonderful story to you. Eat it, Tong Tong. In the room, Lin Feng gave Tong Tong a lot of food. Tong Tong ate happily. It looked like Tong Tong was really hungry. This time I ate a lot. After eating, Lin Feng fed Tong Tong a lot of water. Meow. Tong Tong finished drinking the water, rubbed Lin Feng with her small head, then curled up lazily and digested. It's only been a day and Tong Tong has changed so much. I don't know what it will be like in the future, Lin Feng thought. He was looking forward to it. This unprecedented full-talent portable space, the effect is not generally good. The evolutionary talent of space seems to be able to evolve plants, so try planting some plants. Lin Feng planned. Now the carry-on space is still empty. Lin Feng is not ready to waste such a large portable space. A standard football field is only over 7,000 square feet. Lin Feng's portable space is about 3,000 square meters more than a standard football field. Such a large carry-on space seems to be quite empty. It would be a waste, of course, to leave it like this. As for Lin Feng's own use of space to cultivate, he is not in a hurry. Make the most of the space first, it won't take long anyway. When it is taken care of, it can also be moved into the space to live. Lin Feng thought. Compared with the 60 square meter room, the activity space in the portable space is much larger, but there are not many things in it now. In fact, after having a portable space, some people don't care much about the living area of the city. Because many people habitually choose to leave a small living area for themselves in their personal space, it is safer. It's like a few cities that were wiped out by aliens with powerful psionic weapons a few decades ago. If they lived outside at that time, they would be 100% dead. But in the portable space, you can escape the catastrophe. Even if the anchor point is destroyed by a spiritual weapon, the Space Master still has a minute to come out. At this time, the power of the psionic weapon has long since passed, and people have been preserved. Lin Feng's carry-on space is so large, and it is still a space for all talents. In the future, Lin Feng can live in the carry-on space and can naturally arrange his own living area in the carry-on space. Safer, and he himself can enjoy a good bonus. It takes a lot of time and money to plan out such a large space. Moreover, the space cannot be exposed, nor can anyone ask for help, so Lin Feng can only be busy himself. Fortunately, Lin Feng's pre-travel knowledge has played a role in the past 18 years. In the past 18 years, Lin Feng has made some money with some knowledge before crossing. Although the money is not too much because of age and time, it is enough to plan the entire space in the early stage. Go to sleep first and continue tomorrow, Lin Feng thought. It's been a busy night today. Tong Tong, take a bath. Lin Feng carried the lazy Tong Tong into the bathroom, bathing himself and Tong Tong at the same time. Tong Tong likes to take a bath with Lin Feng. Since she is a cat, Lin Feng did not shy away from anything. Meow. Tong Tong is still sticking to Lin Feng as always. Today, she is no longer afraid of water, and she still enjoys Lin Feng taking a shower for her. After taking a shower, Lin Feng dried Tong Tong's hair with a hairdryer, then hugged Tong Tong and fell asleep. When he woke up, Lin Feng saw that Tong Tong was still in his arms. Seeing Lin Feng open her eyes, she also opened her eyes. After looking at Lin Feng lazily, she rubbed Lin Feng with her small head. Get up. Lin Feng got up, had breakfast, and started a busy day. On this day, Lin Feng first leveled hundreds of tons of soil in his portable space. Then, Lin Feng went to the flower market, bought a lot of flowers, and planted them in the portable space. I bought some fruit trees and planted them in the plant area. Let's see the effect first. With the money Lin Feng has now, it is still not easy to buy Lingji. Lingji, that is, some mutated plants. The price of Lingji is very high, and you may not be able to buy it if you have money. However, Lin Feng's space also has the mutated 5-star talent. This talent is a perfect match for the planting talent. The plants that are planted have a certain probability of mutating and becoming spiritual plants. 5-star mutation talent. The mutation probability is very large. Coupled with the talent of evolution, in Lin Feng's space, even ordinary plants have a very high probability of becoming spiritual plants. In the portable space, it does not look so monotonous. There are trees and flowers. There is also a small pond circled by Lin Feng. There is a lot of water stored here. Although these fruit trees and flowers are not spiritual plants, the fruits they bear are better than ordinary fruits. If it can mutate and become a spiritual plant, the effect will only be multiplied many times. In addition to fruit trees and flowers, Lin Feng also bought some building materials. It's time to use the architectural talent of space. Lin Feng whispered. Architectural talent alone has little effect. A space with architectural talent can be turned into a very comfortable living space, as long as you prepare enough materials by yourself. But that's about it. There is no other effect bonus, it is just a function of safe living. This function, if it is before crossing, is also invaluable. After all, at that time, many people worked hard all their lives just to earn a house. This space is equivalent to carrying a suite with you. No matter if it is windy or rainy outside, even if there is a natural disaster, the space can be happy. However, everyone in this world has a carry-on space, and the strong can do anything by moving mountains and reclaiming the sea. As long as the carry-on space can't help you become stronger, the value is limited. However, in Lin Feng, this talent is useful. Lin Feng opened the control panel of the space, selected the architectural talent, and selected the activation. The 5-star building talent, like the acceleration talent, can be activated for 5 hours a day for free, and if the time is exceeded, you will need a spirit stone. 5 hours is enough. After startup, I saw that in the area selected by Lin Feng, building materials began to be built automatically according to Lin Feng's wishes. Prepared building materials must be sufficient, otherwise it will stop. This is architectural genius. After Lin Feng glanced at it, he didn't look again. Try the effect. After Lin Feng has prepared enough food and water, he is ready to try the effect of the portable space himself. Therefore, Lin Feng activated the acceleration function of the portable space. After starting the acceleration, you can't feel the change in the portable space. Acceleration is changing the time to flow rate ratio. 5-star acceleration talent. When in level 1 space, the acceleration is 10 times. 10 hours have passed inside the space, and only 1 hour has passed outside. In the space, nature cannot feel the change. But if you open a window in your personal space at this time, you can see that the outside becomes very slow. Once the window is opened, though, acceleration is paused. To start the acceleration, you need to keep the portable space completely closed. After starting, Lin Feng took out a lot of books. Steps and Stages of Awakening. Enlightenment of Thunder Evolvers. Detailed Explanation of Lingshu Swordsmanship. Basic Fire. These books are all basic cultivation books. These books are not hard to come by, on the contrary, they are all over the street. There are a lot of them in the stall set up by an old grandfather by the roadside. When Lin Feng first saw it, he thought it was a book made up by some charlatans. But in fact, these are true. In this world, because of the need to fight against aliens, the popularity of cultivation books is very large. An old grandpa on the road, although they may not have much strength themselves, can explain a lot of knowledge about cultivation to you. These are all basic training books. Further training books, after the strength reaches a certain level, it is not difficult to obtain. Of course, some exclusive cheats and the like can only be obtained after joining some forces. Lin Feng sat on the reclining chair and flipped through the Enlightenment of Lightning Evolutionaries, which was about the awakening methods of lightning evolutions and their further cultivation. Meow. Tonong also came over, lay down in Lin Feng's arms, and looked at the book in Lin Feng's hand with a pair of small eyes. After Lin Feng touched her little head, she read the book. After seeing this, Lin Feng was fascinated before he knew it. I don't know how long I watched. Lin Feng finally came back to his senses. At a glance, Tong Tong was sitting on a small stool beside him. Tong Tong fell asleep. Lin Feng looked at the time, only to realize that more than 10 hours had passed. This time. No, 30 hours have passed. Lin Feng took another look at a specially bought clock and made a new discovery. Due to the existence of the acceleration function, the time flow rate in the portable space is different from the outside world, and the time is not easy to calculate, so there is a special clock that can be placed in the portable space to time. So fast? Lin Feng didn't expect that he watched it for more than 30 hours. The point is, in his perception, it doesn't seem that long has passed. His eyes stayed on a talent on the space panel. Spatial talent, Epiphany. Cultivation in space, there is a 15% probability of entering a state of epiphany. Epiphany. This talent is also very rare. Epiphany talent. People who practice in the portable space can have a certain probability to enter a state of epiphany. No wonder. Lin Feng understood. Immediately, in his mind, the harvest he had just read appeared. It seems so. Lin Feng's hand moved slightly, and lightning appeared on his finger. I go. This, Lin Feng was a little surprised. With an epiphany, he actually condensed lightning. With another flick of his finger, a small arc popped out. The arc is not long, only about a dozen centimeters, and the power is not too great. It is estimated that killing people is impossible, and it can also electrocute people. But the meaning of this is extraordinary. Represents. Lin Feng can already be regarded as awakening. After realizing this, Lin Feng stood up. He finally realized the terrifying part of this full talent and the portable space that has evolved 100 times. No wonder, Tongtong's change is so obvious. ZZ. In the carry-on space, the sound of an arc firing sounded. This string of arcs is bigger than the string that Lin Feng released at the beginning. Brightness is also much higher. After only a dozen attempts, Lin Feng was able to release the arc quite proficiently. 5-star Lei family affinity. Lin Feng thought. In his space, there are many elemental energy affinity talents, such as thunder, fire, water, wind, ice, etc. The element affinity talent can make the corresponding evolutionary practice in space with half the effort. Beside him, Tongtong was still sleeping late. Lin Feng stretched his body and sat still for more than 30 hours, but he did not feel numbness in his legs and feet. Correspondingly, the state of the body is quite good. Lin Feng felt that his body had also strengthened a little bit, becoming stronger and more powerful than before. However, a little hungry. Lin Feng prepared a lot of food. After taking out the food to eat, I finally feel comfortable. The acceleration of space continues. Now the space is still fully enclosed, because the volume of the space is large enough. There is still a lot of air inside. Lin Feng looked elsewhere. 30 hours have passed, and the flowers and trees that have been planted have not changed significantly so far. However, these flowers and trees give Lin Feng the feeling that they have taken root in the portable space and are beginning to grow vigorously. Unlike when it was first planted, there will be some. Lin Feng looked at the construction area again. It was found that there was already a very delicate little house there. The house is not big, it has everything in it, and it looks very beautiful. Lin Feng walked in. First of all, there is a small yard. After entering the yard, there is a small living room. Next to the living room is his bedroom. There is also a separate bathroom in the bedroom. Above this bathroom, there is a special area, which can be used to store a large amount of washing water. There is also space for storing household waste below. In the city, there are special places to dispose of these domestic wastes. With a house, the entire carry-on space looks more complete. Lin Feng picked up Tongtong and entered the room. Meow. At this time, Tongtong woke up. After waking up, Tongtong rubbed Lin Feng with his small head. After rubbing, Tong Tong looked at Lin Feng with her cute little eyes and jumped again. Good guy. This time, Tong Tong jumped even higher than before. It seems that Tong Tong's body has been strengthened again. Meow. After Tong Tong finished jumping, she rubbed Lin Feng with her little head again. Just like a child waiting to be praised after showing his good grades to his parents. Then, Lin Feng touched Tong Tong's little head. Tong Tong, you did a good job. Meow. There was clearly happiness in Tong Tong's voice. It is indeed spiritual. After Lin Feng finished coquettish here, Tong Tong's little head began to look from side to side. It looked like it was looking for something. What are you looking for, Tong Tong? Lin Feng asked. Meow. Tong Tong quickly found her target. That was the book, Lightning Evolutionary Enlightenment, that Lin Feng had opened before. Meow. Tong Tong jumped to the book, stared at the illustrations on it, and read it with gusto. There are many pictures on these books, but not much text. Seeing Tong Tong like this, Lin Feng couldn't help but become interested. Tong Tong is actually reading a book? Moreover, looking at her small appearance, she can also see with relish. Tong Tong, watch this video. Lin Feng took out the tablet and clicked on a downloaded video. This video is exactly the explanation of the book. Meow. Hearing Lin Feng's words, Tong Tong immediately turned his head and stared at the video. After watching it for a few seconds, Tong Tong realized that this was exactly what she was looking for. She didn't forget to rub against Lin Feng before continuing to read. Tong Tong is so smart. Lin Feng couldn't help thinking. The former Tong Tong, although a cute cat, is not so smart and can accurately understand every word that Lin Feng said. It seems that in the portable space, the strengthening of Tong Tong's body is a change on the one hand. On the other hand, Tong Tong is getting smarter. In the process of watching, Tong Tong's little ears moved. Meow. After watching for a while, Tong Tong rubbed against Lin Feng. This little action made Lin Feng know what she meant. Tong Tong was puzzled. After all, she is a cat. Tong Tong, it's like this. Lin Feng told her carefully. During the talk, Lin Feng was also observing Tong Tong. Tong Tong's ears perked up, but she listened very seriously. Finally, Lin Feng finished speaking. Tong Tong, do you understand? Lin Feng asked. Meow. Tong Tong let out a meow. He looked at Lin Feng with a pair of watery and cute eyes. Did you understand, or did you not understand? Meow. Tong Tong looked at the tablet again. After watching it for a while, Tong Tong was lost in awe. See. Lin Feng continued to try the newly awakened Thunder Force. The arc was continuously released by him. Meow. After a while, Tong Tong rubbed against Lin Feng again. Lin Feng saw that Tong Tong's little paw pointed to the tablet. Don't understand again? Lin Feng looked at where Tong Tong pointed and then told her again. Meow. After listening to Lin Feng's explanation, Tong Tong made a meow again, not knowing whether he understood it or not. In this way, one person and one cat began to hang out in the portable space. Lin Feng is not going to do other activities for the time being. Instead, prepare to stay in the portable space, use the portable space, and improve some strengths. With strength, you can do more things. From time to time, Tong Tong will make a meow. Every time Lin Feng looked over, Tong Tong's little paw would point to the tablet. Lin Feng found that she could already use a tablet. Already know how to stop. After watching Lin Feng move forward and backward several times, she can even use her small paws to move forward and backward. What direction is Tong Tong going to evolve in? Lin Feng couldn't help thinking. Due to the appearance of aliens in this world, after the aura recovered, the animals on Earth were also suppressed by aliens. Due to the existence of the beast guarding space, there are also a certain percentage of beast guardians among the evolutionaries. There are also some powerful animals. But judging from Tong Tong's current performance, this evolutionary direction is somewhat different from other animals. Tong Tong is too smart. Moreover, I also watched the book and the video of Cultivation. Other animals don't have this. Tong Tong, I'm going to bed first. The food is over there. If you're hungry, go eat it yourself. After a few hours, Lin Feng decided to go to bed. Meow. Tong Tong rubbed against Lin Feng, as if to say that he knew. Lin Feng fell asleep. When I woke up, I found that Tong Tong was still staring at the tablet in a daze. Meow. Seemingly seeing Lin Feng awake, Tong Tong called out and pointed his little paw at the screen. Is there something you don't understand? Lin Feng told Tong Tong again. After finishing speaking, Lin Feng ate something, looked at the time, and the time for acceleration had run out. He went out to buy some daily necessities, and then continued to return to the portable space. Meow. As soon as he returned to the portable space, Tong Tong came again, with his little paw pointing at the tablet. The current Tong Tong has completely turned into a curious baby or a good student. After Lin Feng finished speaking to her, he continued to train the use of lightning power. Level 1 space has a 15% chance of epiphany, which is not too big, but not too small. If it can be successfully triggered once, the harvest is great. In this way, Lin Feng and Tong Tong, the little cat, live together in the portable space. Lin Feng has prepared enough living materials. Meow. Finally, Tong Tong was tired and fell asleep. A few hours later, Tong Tong woke up. As soon as he woke up, Tong Tong continued to watch the video again. It's still the same as before. As long as there is something she doesn't understand, she will look at Lin Feng and then make a meow. The reason to watch it is because Tong Tong is afraid of disturbing Lin Feng. Tong Tong in the past was sensible. Tong Tong now is more sensible. Thunderbolt. In the carry-on space, an electric arc struck out. Meow. With a slight jump, Tong Tong avoided the arc very swiftly. Tong Tong, you did a good job. Lin Feng praised. Now, Lin Feng and Tong Tong have been in the portable space for several days. A few days in the outside world, after starting the acceleration, more than half a month has passed in the portable space. These days, Tong Tong can say that every day is changing. She is getting faster and faster. The explosive power is getting more and more amazing. The most obvious part of the explosive power is that Tong Tong's jumping ability is constantly improving. Now she can jump 2 or 3 stories high with one jump. Such explosive power is amazing for her petite body. Her physical strength is constantly increasing. A paw down, but the force is not small. Another change is that Tong Tong is getting more and more eager to learn. I watch some training videos every day. I don't know if she understands it. Lin Feng's own changes are not small. In the past half a month, Lin Feng has triggered the effect of awareness several times. Every trigger can make his mastery of the power of thunder and lightning rise a lot. Now, the arc he sent out can attack a distance of more than 10 meters, and the power is quite good. With a full blow, if an ordinary person is hit, he will be scorched black by electricity, making it difficult for him to survive. It's not just the change in the power of lightning that is mastered. Another change is that Lin Feng feels that his body is getting stronger every day. The strength of the body is constantly increasing. This should be the effect of Tong Tong's feedback. The Space Beast Master talent allows the space owner to enjoy the feedback after the space contract biological strength is enhanced. Tong Tong's current evolution, the increase in physical strength, is probably very amazing. Otherwise, how could a cat jump more than 10 meters high? The feedback to Lin Feng is naturally not small. Meow. At this time, Tong Tong's cry sounded outside. Lin Feng walked out the door and found Tong Tong standing on a peach tree. These flowers have changed a lot as the days go by. A lot of flowers have opened, and they are very bright. These flowers have obviously enjoyed the bonuses brought by the planting and evolution talents of space. Fruit trees have also changed a lot. Some fruit trees are already blooming. Tong Tong, what's wrong? Lin Feng asked. Meow. Tong Tong's little paw pointed to a flower on the peach tree. Lin Feng looked. Then he saw that the peach blossom looked a little different where Tong Tong's little paw was pointing. Peach blossoms are small flowers when they open. One next to the other, there is a feeling of clusters of flowers. Very beautiful. However, that peach blossom is a very large flower. It looks different from other peach blossoms. Such a big peach blossom is also very bright visually. This is mutated? Lin Feng whispered. This situation has clearly changed. I don't know if the whole peach tree has mutated, or just this peach blossom has mutated. Lin Feng stepped forward. Look at the peach blossom. This peach blossom is as big as a palm. Lin Feng had never seen such a big peach blossom. It looks so gorgeous. Meow. Tong Tong sniffed the peach blossoms, then turned her head to look at Lin Feng. Tong Tong, do you want to eat this peach blossom? Lin Feng asked. After this peach blossom mutates, it belongs to Lingji. Whether it is for humans or animals, Lingji is very tempting. Some animals, after eating Lingji, will become mutant animals whose strength is far superior to ordinary animals. After humans eat Lingji, the speed of cultivation will also be greatly improved. Lin Feng has planted so many plants, but he also hopes that some plants can mutate and become spiritual plants. Meow. Tong Tong meowed again, and the meaning of this meow was different. It seems to say no. Tong Tong don't want to eat? Meow. Then Lin Feng saw it. Tong Tong opened her small mouth, posing to bite at the peach blossom. Immediately. That peach blossom that looked obviously different, all the petals shook without the wind. It looks as if he is afraid. What? The peach blossom's reaction immediately caught Lin Feng's attention. Meow. Tong Tong made a louder sound and opened his mouth wider. Don't look at Tong Tong's petiteness, but she can bite off most of this peach blossom in one bite. Following Tong Tong's movements, the palm-sized peach blossom had a bigger reaction. It seemed that he was worried that Tong Tong would bite it off in one bite. The petals of this peach blossom began to tremble violently. Smell good. Immediately afterwards, Lin Feng smelled a very fragrant floral fragrance. Made him take a few more sips. With the fragrance of these flowers, Lin Feng's eyes also became somewhat hazy. Vaguely, the surrounding scenery began to become a little blurry. There seemed to be some light mist all around. In the mist, Lin Feng seemed to see a graceful beauty walking towards him. Through the mist and the blurred scenery, Lin Feng could not see the specific appearance of this beautiful woman. But in his feelings, this beauty belongs to the kind that is astonishing. This beauty has a graceful figure. She came in like this. Come to Lin Feng. Then, lightly relieved Luo Chang and danced around Lin Feng. Meow. A cat meow woke Lin Feng up. Lin Feng saw that he was still in front of the peach tree. On the branches of the peach tree, the bright peach blossom is still releasing its fragrance. It's floral, hallucinogenic. Lin Feng understood instantly. Good guy. The fragrance released by this peach blossom has hallucinogenic power. Because Lin Feng was not vigilant, he was hallucinated by this floral fragrance just now. The scene in the fantasy is very charming. However, with Tong Tong's cry, the peach blossom finally stopped releasing its fragrance. Because Tong Tong's little paws were raised, they were about to scream. Tong Tong, okay, I know how special this flower is. Lin Feng said. Tong Tong didn't really want to eat this flower. Although it is a mutated spiritual plant, with Tong Tong's current sensibleness, without Lin Feng's permission, he will not eat these plants in the space indiscriminately. Her move just now should be just to stimulate the peach blossom, so that Lin Feng can know that the peach blossom is special. This peach is really special. Ordinary Lingji is not like this, being frightened by Tong Tong. It actually gives people a feeling of shivering. Some spiritual plants can attract some mutant animals to protect them, and there are also a small number of advanced spiritual plants with certain attack power. But this peach blossom has just mutated, and it gives people a spiritual feeling. It also releases pollen to induce hallucinations. This pollen, there is no other harm. As the owner of the space, Lin Feng, the plants planted in the space, after a certain period of time in the space, just like Tong Tong, it is equivalent to signing a contract with Lin Feng. Even if the plant mutates and possesses some self-protection ability, it is impossible to attack the master of Lin Feng's space. Meow. Tong Tong understood Lin Feng's words and then let the flower go. Lin Feng walked under the peach tree and was less than 10 centimeters away from the flower. The flower is back to normal. It smells very fragrant. The floral fragrance this time has no hallucinogenic ability. Do you understand me? Lin Feng spoke up, speaking to the flower. Peach Blossom did not respond. Lin Feng asked a few more questions, but there was still no response, giving Lin Feng the feeling that he was asleep. Is it too much consumption? Thinking of the previous floral fragrance, Lin Feng couldn't help guessing. Tong Tong, don't scare it. If any plants mutate, let me know. Lin Feng touched Tong Tong's little head and said. Tongtong is active every day. She likes to jump around in the flowers and sometimes jumps on the treetops. Her energy is extremely abundant. The time to sleep every day is much less than that of Lin Feng. Meow. Tongtong responded, indicating that he understood. This peach blossom should be the first mutated plant. Other plants have not mutated for the time being. After Lin Feng found that the peach blossom had not responded, he returned to the room and continued to hang out. After a while, Tongtong came again. After a few hours, Lin Feng took another look at the peach blossom. Peach still didn't respond. It seems that he was frightened by Tongtong, and after releasing the pollen, the consumption is a bit large. In this way, after more than 20 hours in the portable space, when Lin Feng looked at it again, the peach blossom still didn't respond. However, after a few more hours, when Lin Feng watched it for the third time, Taowa finally had a reaction. Meow. Tongtong is here again. Feeling Tongtong's approach, this peach blossom suddenly felt shivering. Fortunately, Tongtong didn't scare it this time. Don't be afraid, Lin Feng said. Peach blossom really quieted down. In Lin Feng's sight, the peach blossom slowly opened. With the opening of the peach blossoms, the pleasant fragrance of the flowers permeated once again. Immediately afterwards, in front of Lin Feng, there appeared that beautiful woman who couldn't see her specific appearance. Compared with the last time, this time, after Lin Feng was on guard, even if Tongtong was not beside him with a meow, he was able to escape from this illusion. This illusion doesn't feel advanced to him, and this peach blossom doesn't seem to be malicious. It's just that every time I create such a fantasy for Lin Feng couldn't help but want to ask, this peach blossom, is it serious? In the illusion, the big beauty had already walked over and started dancing around Lin Feng again. Lin Feng looked at it and found that the beauty in the fantasy land didn't do anything other than dance a bit like a swan dance. It seems that this peach blossom does not have any ill will towards the owner of this space, Lin Feng. It looks like he is trying to please Lin Feng. Lin Feng closed his eyes after watching for a while. After opening it again, the big beauty in the illusion has disappeared. Lin Feng looked at the peach blossom and said, if you understand me, just stretch out the petals. After speaking, Lin Feng waited. After a while, I saw that the petals of the peach blossom gently stretched. Really understand. Flowers are smart. Lin Feng thought of these 3 words. This peach blossom seems to already possess a certain spirituality. Moreover, it seems that this peach blossom has fully enjoyed the various bonuses of space. Lin Feng asked again, but this time Taowa didn't respond. Is it too much consumption again? Lin Feng thought. Although this peach blossom has a spirit, it is too weak now, and the means of self-protection it possesses is estimated to be the hallucination of pollen. This ability has no effect on Tongtong, a cute little cat. Meow. At this time, Tongtong pointed to a nearby fruit tree again. This fruit tree has also mutated? Lin Feng walked to the fruit tree and found that the fruit tree was also mutating. That's normal variation. After Lin Feng observed for a while, he spoke softly. The mutation of this fruit tree is like an ordinary plant, and the mutation becomes the normal mutation of the spiritual plant. After completing the mutation, the fruit tree will become a spiritual plant. The fruit that bears, after eating, the effect will become very good. If you can enjoy the evolutionary talent of space and continue to evolve, this fruit tree will become a more and more advanced spiritual plant. The fruit will be better and better. But that's all. There will be no such changes as peach blossoms. The variation of this peach blossom is the most special. It would be nice if there were spirit stones, Lin Feng thought. Although his carry-on space is large, the spiritual energy in the space is still too thin. Since the spiritual spring is mostly controlled by aliens, there is not much spiritual energy in the air. If you want spiritual energy, you can only get it from spiritual stones. Linkshare is very expensive. Not easy to buy either. Spirit stones are the common currency among evolutionaries. It is easy to exchange spirit stones for money, but difficult to exchange money for spirit stones. If there are spirit stones, these plants in Lin Feng's space will evolve faster. Tongtong and his growth can also be greatly accelerated. It seems that after registering for awakening in the Evolution Alliance, you can receive a spiritual stone. Lin Feng suddenly thought of something. The Evolutionary Alliance can be said to be the largest force, but it is also the loosest force. The alien invasion changed the world, and each city fought its own way. The city lord in a city is often the strongest in a city. The Evolutionary Alliance was established by some powerful people with great courage to connect cities with each other. At the same time, there is a certain amount of support for all evolutionaries. For example, if an evolver wants a cultivation technique, as long as his strength is achieved, he can receive the corresponding cultivation technique for free in the Evolutionary Alliance. After ordinary people wake up and register with the Evolutionary Alliance, they can also go to the Evolutionary Alliance to receive a spiritual stone. After the strength is improved, there are additional spirit stones. After registration, it is equivalent to joining the Evolutionary Alliance, but this joining is very different from joining other forces. Joining other forces is equivalent to giving your life. Joining the Evolution Alliance, as long as you don't officially serve in it, there are no restrictions at all, and you can quit if you want. The evolutionaries and other forces also all joined the Evolutionary Alliance. Even the grandfather downstairs where Lin Feng lived, who was still in the awakening stage for decades, also joined the Evolutionary Alliance. This is what this old man loves to brag about. Therefore, Lin Feng thought about it and decided to register first and then get a spiritual stone. So, Lin Feng told Tong Tong, put Tong Tong in the portable space and set off. Not long after, Lin Feng came to the headquarters of the Evolution Alliance in Sioux City. There are many awakened people registered here every day. This is your information card. Please go to the test center at the back, and your strength will be tested to a certain extent. If you don't want to register your real strength, you can also hide your strength to a certain extent. After testing your strength has received the Spirit Stone. After registering the basic information, the staff handed Lin Feng an information card and said to Lin Feng, "It is good." Lin Feng didn't say much. After taking the information card, he walked to the test center. There are already quite a few people there. These people were all around, watching the people in the center test. I saw one person exerting all his strength and punching a test machine violently. 800 kilograms, awakening level 5. The staff said, "Wow, this guy is so strong. This is a power evolution. It's really fierce. This is the awakening of level 5. The people around were amazed. The registered evolutionaries go up one by one. Everyone's abilities are different. Some people unleash flame attacks, while others attack with ice picks. There are also people who practice martial arts and start their own evolution through martial arts. Everyone's test is different. Some people who took the test did not leave in a hurry, ready to see the performance of others. Finally, it was Lin Feng's turn. Lin Feng came to the testing place. Thunder System Evolutionary? Please use your lightning to attack this energy screen. The staff said, "It is good." On Lin Feng's hands, thunder and lightning began to condense. Immediately after, Lin Feng's hands moved. Next second, a thunderbolt rushed out and slammed into the energy screen. Thunderbolt. After the thunder struck the energy screen, the sound of the thunder struck. On the energy screen, the number continues to rise. Jump from 1 all the way to 10, and then it becomes a capital 1. Level 1. The staff member couldn't help but look at Lin Feng with praise in his eyes. Your attack strength has reached the level of a first-order evolutionary. Amazing, you are only 18 years old, and you have such strength. Wow! Around, the people who came to register were in a commotion. Lin Feng thought. These days, he has been in the portable space. In fact, there are not many days, less than a week. The long time spent in the space is because the acceleration turned 5 hours a day into 50 hours. By accelerating, the equivalent of turning a day into 69 hours. 1 day, 3 days. If you are in a world where you cannot cultivate, this is not a good thing. Because in the portable space, it will also grow old. If this is in the portable space every day, the speed of aging will increase 3 times than that of people outside. Compared to outsiders, they will die many years earlier. But in a world where cultivation is possible, it is naturally not a problem. As long as the strength is improved, lifespan is not a particularly big problem. Lin Feng has been cultivating, and from time to time, he and Tong Tong have been sparring with each other. He still doesn't know what level of strength he has reached. He thought he was still in the awakening stage. Unexpectedly, the attack strength has reached the first order level. Around, the other people who came to register were also agitated one by one. The first order is not the key is. Lin Feng is only 18 years old. 18-year-old first order evolutionary. That's kind of rare. It looks like a big family member again. Why did the children of the big family go to the Evolutionary Alliance to test? A spiritual stone is nothing to them. How do you know what people think? It may also be a genius, and with some rare talent space, it can also be done. Anyway, we can only envy. Some people whispered. You can go and collect 11 spirit stones. The staff said to Lin Feng kindly. 11 spirit stones. It seems that after entering the first order, you can receive 10 spirit stones. For the current Lin Feng, it's not bad. Lin Feng gave the staff a slight nod, and then left here under the envious eyes of others. Soon, Lin Feng received 11 spirit stones. After receiving it, Lin Feng did not leave in a hurry, and went to register as a beast master again. Anyway, we should focus on training Tong Tong. She will also be an important helper of Lin Feng in the future. It is naturally necessary to register. Beastmaster registration is relatively simple. After registering, Lin Feng got another spiritual stone. Now, Lin Feng has 12 spirit stones. After returning home all the way, Lin Feng entered the portable space. After entering, Lin Feng took out 12 spirit stones. Meow. Tong Tong smelled the breath of the spirit stone and walked over with glowing eyes. Each of these spirit stones is the size of a soap bar. The spiritual energy in the spiritual stone is still quite sufficient. After a piece of spiritual stone is crushed, the entire space can be filled with spiritual energy. Crush a piece first. There are not many spiritual stones, so Lin Feng decided to save some. Soon, Lin Feng completely smashed the spiritual stone. In the entire space, the spiritual energy gradually became richer. The advantage of using spirit stones in space is that the aura does not radiate out. Basically, some major forces will only use spirit stones in space. If in the outside world, the spiritual energy in the spiritual stone will be distributed in all directions, it will be thin. The aura is full. Lin Feng whispered. The current concentration of spiritual energy has increased by many times compared to before. Now, the effect of cultivating in space will definitely be better. All plants and children can also enjoy these auras. Space Master, Lin Feng. Space Talent, Acceleration, Golden 5 stars, Beast Mastery, Golden 5 stars, Planting, Red 5 stars, Gravity, Orange 5 stars, Thunder Affinity, Red 5 stars, Fire Affinity, Red 5 stars, Mutation, Red 5 stars, Area, White 5 stars, Evolution, Golden 5 stars, 100 times Evolution. Space Area, 10,000 square meters. Space Level, 1 upgradable. Space Log, viewable. After crushing the Spirit Stone, Lin Feng looked at his space panel. Looking at it, Lin Feng found that there were 3 more words in the space level column on the space panel. Upgradable. Can the level of space be improved? Lin Feng couldn't help but feel refreshed. He clicked on the words that can be upgraded. Then, Lin Feng discovered that although the conditions for upgrading were met, he did not have enough spiritual stones. To upgrade the space to level 2, a full 10,000 spirit stones are needed. 10,000 spirit stones, to the current Lin Feng, is an authentic astronomical number. Use it first, Lin Feng thought. Although the effect of some talents will become better after the upgrade, the current space is enough for use. Therefore, Lin Feng did not think about the space upgrade for the time being. Let's develop some more time. Thunderbolt. In the space, the arc hits the gray space wall on one side of the space. Such a space wall is soft to the touch, but cannot be destroyed. Meow. In the back, Tong Tong was jumping around in the woods. After all, it is a cute cat, and Tong Tong still has some playfulness. With the aura, Lin Feng found that there were indeed some differences. His thunderbolt progressed even more. Tong Tong changes more and more every day. Don't look at her body shape has not changed much. But her strength is improving every day. The peach blossom and the mutated fruit tree are also increasing. Correspondingly, the aura in the space is not consumed slowly. Lin Feng did not use spiritual stones to accelerate, but only used the space for 5 hours of free acceleration every day. Just call you Tao Yao. Under the peach tree, Lin Feng gave the peach blossom a name. Tao Yao. Recipe shining. This name is quite suitable for her. The petals of the peach blossom stretched slightly. This action, a bit like a beauty stretching her limbs, is full of beauty. Immediately afterwards, Lin Feng smelled a very nice floral fragrance. In front of his eyes, the hazy, but incomparably graceful beauty appeared again. The beauty was wearing a tulle, came to Lin Feng's side, and danced a graceful and meaningful dance. This time, Lin Feng did not forcefully withdraw from this illusion, but silently felt it. Because, after experiencing it 3 times in a row, Lin Feng found out. Tao Yao's actions were not because she was not serious. It's not that she wants to tease Lin Feng, but it has other meanings. Therefore, Lin Feng silently admired the dance of the beautiful woman in front of him. Could this beauty be Tao Yao? Lin Feng couldn't help thinking. Tao Yao's peach blossoms are extraordinarily gorgeous. Not just bright, but pretty. Like a beauty. Although it is a flower. But it always gives a feeling of beauty. This dancing beauty also looks like a national beauty, and there is a strange floral fragrance on her body. It makes me unhappy when I smell it. After watching this for 10 minutes, Lin Feng slowly became immersed in the dance of the beauties. So, I don't know how long it took. The dancing beauties are still dancing the most beautiful dance. In Lin Feng's head, something seemed to be captured. Immediately after. Boom. As if a big explosion had occurred. Immediately. Lin Feng has a feeling of enlightenment. It was as if the world suddenly became wider. When the change finally subsided, Lin Feng closed his eyes. Although he closed his eyes, Lin Feng had a clear understanding of the surrounding situation. Second awakening. Lin Feng smiled. He has awakened for the second time. This time, the ability to awaken is related to spiritual power. Tao Yao's pollen is not purely hallucinogenic. Her pollen should have a special effect, which can increase people's spiritual power. At first, after being frightened by Tong Tong, she released pollen, which should be to let Lin Feng see her value. Lest Tong Tong really eat her. Later, Tao Yao also released pollen for Lin Feng one after another. It's not because of fear. Instead, she just wanted to help Lin Feng with pollen. No wonder, every time she released the pollen, she would fall asleep for several days. It just so happened that this time the epiphany of space was triggered again. In one fell swoop, Lin Feng was awakened for the second time. Finally, Lin Feng opened his eyes. After opening his eyes, Lin Feng found that Tao Yao was asleep again. The pollen that has just been released for so long is estimated to be a lot of consumption for Tao Yao. So, just fell asleep. Sleeping this time, it is estimated that it will take a few more days. When Tao Yao was sleeping, the whole peach blossom curled up. Such Tao Yao, if in the wild, is actually very dangerous. In the wild, there are too many threats to Lingji. All kinds of insects, birds, and beasts are the first threat. However, Tao Yao still has a certain ability to protect herself. Her floral fragrance can induce hallucinations. But if she encounters a larger animal or a mutant animal, like Tong Tong, who is affected very little, then she is in danger. Not to mention, in the wild, there are some beasts that are not found on Earth that are stalked by a large number of aliens. These beasts are all very ferocious. That's what they call a nuisance. Wherever they pass, you will eat all the spiritual plants, and even the mutant animals have to hide from them. However, in Lin Feng's place, Tao Yao is absolutely safe. Tong Tong won't eat her. On the contrary, Tong Tong still likes Tao Yao a little bit now. Tong Tong finally has a playmate, although this playmate is still a flower. After the second awakening, Lin Feng's spiritual power was much stronger than before. Therefore, in Lin Feng's perception, this peach blossom gave him a completely different feeling. Before, Lin Feng could only see with his eyes. Although I can see the extraordinariness of the peach blossom, it is nothing more than that. But this time, in Lin Feng's perception, there is a faint spiritual consciousness in the peach blossom. This is Tao Yao. Tao Yao's current spiritual consciousness is indeed weak. However, it is still growing. Lin Feng looked at the situation of another fruit tree. The mutation of this fruit tree has been completely completed, turned into a spirit plant. At present, this spiritual plant is not very advanced, but it is already a spiritual plant. As long as it turns out, it will be of great help to the current Lin Feng and Tong Tong. Therefore, Lin Feng continued to hang out with Tong Tong in the space. Oh, and one more peach. In the space, Lin Feng would smash a spiritual stone every 40 hours or so. He and Tong Tong consume a lot of spiritual energy. There are so many plants. The power of the thunder element is still increasing, and the spiritual power of the second awakening is also constantly getting stronger. The improvement of mental strength is of great benefit. Lin Feng's energy can also be maintained for a longer time. Lin Feng's body is also constantly strengthening. This is mainly from the feedback from Tong Tong. 3 days after the second awakening, Tao Ao finally Su Xing came over. Tong Tong would go to the peach tree to play for some time every day and then come back. Lin Feng also visits Tao Ao every day. Now Tao Ao, there is no way to communicate too much. After Su Xing, Tao wanted to use pollen to help Lin Feng improve her mental strength. But being rejected by Lin Feng, let her grow up first. After growing up, the effect of pollen is much better. As for spiritual power, Lin Feng can also improve himself through the meditation method in a book on spiritual power cultivation. In meditation, as long as an epiphany is triggered, the effect is not generally good. Not to mention, Lin Feng's face has 100 times more evolution. It is equivalent to enhancing the effect of epiphany by 100 times. In addition, there is a very good change. This change is related to Tong Tong. Under Lin Feng's daily explanation, Tong Tong has already learned a lot of words. Not only that, but now Tong Tong feels like a little human lowly to Lin Feng. Tong Tong is really smart now. Moreover, Lin Feng found that Tong Tong actually entered a state of epiphany a few times. Originally, Tong Tong's evolutionary direction was a bit toward the strengthening of the body and the increase of wisdom. Seeing that Tong Tong had an epiphany several times, Lin Feng felt that the direction of Tong Tong's evolution might change again. Do not know. If things go on like this, what kind of changes will Tong Tong, a cute little cat, eventually change? Lin Feng was looking forward to it. In this way, after a few more days, another plant in the space mutated. Another fruit tree. In this way, there are 3 spiritual plants in Lin Feng's space. No, it's 2, plus a flower. There is still a big difference between Tao Ao and these 2 trees. After the fruit tree mutates into a spiritual plant, it is naturally different from a normal fruit tree. The growth rate of these 2 fruit trees has also accelerated. The first fruit tree to mutate has grown to more than 20 meters high. The height of the carrion space was about 30 meters high at the beginning. After triggering the area talent and increasing the area by 100 times, the height did not increase by 100 times, but from 30 meters to more than 300 meters high. Such a height is enough for the spiritual plants of trees to grow. Meow. Tong Tong's favorite thing to do now is to jump around on these fruit trees. Now, her jumping ability is also very amazing. However, with the enhancement of Tong Tong and Lin Feng's strength and the increase of spirit plants, the consumption rate of spirit stones is also getting faster. In the beginning, a spirit stone can last for about 2 days. Now, a single spiritual stone can only last for more than a day. You can continue to evolve if you don't need spirit stones, but the speed is definitely not so fast, and the effect is not so good. There are not many spirit stones left. Soon, there were only 3 spiritual stones left in Lin Feng's hand. Gotta find a way to get some spirit stones. For evolutionaries, there are not many ways to get spirit stones. For example, after completing the registration of the evolutionary person last time, Lin Feng has an app in his mobile phone. In this app, there are some tasks released by the Evolution Alliance. After completion, there are certain spiritual stone rewards. You can also go out of the city to hunt the beasts released by the aliens, and you can also exchange the meat of the beasts for spirit stones. In addition, the city lord's mansion of each city will also issue some tasks, such as assisting in the defense of the beast tide, participating in the counterattack against some alien strongholds, etc., and you can also get spiritual stones. The Evolution Alliance will also hold some competitions and the like every year. After winning, you can also get spirit stones. This is some of the ways for evolutionaries who have not joined forces to obtain spirit stones. If you join some forces, you will naturally be able to get spirit stones from the joined forces. However, after joining the faction, freedom is limited. In addition, Lin Feng's face is too amazing. At the beginning, Lin Feng was not prepared to join any force. Now it is naturally impossible. Tong Tong, let's go, I'll take you out for activities. After Lin Feng turned on the phone and looked at it for a while, he made a discovery. Maybe he could get some spiritual stones. Meow. Tong Tong hadn't been out of space for a long time. Although he stayed in the space, Tong Tong was quite happy. However, after staying for a long time, being able to go out for a walk is also very new to Tong Tong. Therefore, Tong Tong was very happy. So, Lin Feng took Tong Tong out the door. Meow. Tong Tong was in Lin Feng's arms, looking left and right, feeling extremely fresh. She hadn't been out of space for a long time. But, after just being fresh for a while, Tong Tong felt boring. It's still interesting in Lin Feng's portable space. Like before, she became lazy again, lying in Lin Feng's arms, and her big eyes that seemed very cute also squinted. It looked like he was taking a nap. A bit of a lazy cat again. Lin Feng and Tong Tong soon came to a large venue. In the live broadcast of the short video, Lin Feng saw that here, the Beast Masters Association is holding a battle arena for young Beast Masters. The Beast Master Association, a branch of the Evolutionary Alliance, is mainly responsible for supporting the growth of Beast Masters who have the talent for Beast Masters in their personal space. As long as the space has the talent for fighting beasts and the Beast Masters who have contracted animals, they can sign up to participate in the battle. The final winner can receive corresponding rewards according to the number of times they defended the ring. Of course, there are age groups. There is an age group every 2 years, 18 to 19, 20 to 21, 22 to 23, 24 to 25, a total of 4 age groups. You cannot participate if you are over 25 years old. After all, you are only a young Beast Master. Hello, do you want to participate or watch the game? Please show your identity information. If you watch the game, you only need to pay 100 yuan. Outside the arena, a staff member is approaching a person in front. Roar. At this time, a tiger was released from the carry-on space by this person, which startled the staff. Meow. In Lin Feng's arms, Tong Tong glanced lazily at the tiger and continued to doze again. I'm here to compete, and this is my information card. The man took out the information card and scanned it. Okay, please come in. Get the entry card on the left after entering. The staff put the man in. Lin Feng also walked forward with Tong Tong in his arms and took out his information card. I'm here to compete, Lin Feng said. Okay, please come in. After entering, collect the entry card on the left. Lin Feng was able to enter. As soon as he entered, Lin Feng saw that there were a lot of people inside. In the middle, there are 4 arenas. Represent different age groups. The rules of the game are simple. Keep fighting. If you successfully defend once, you will get 1 spirit stone. Hold twice, 2 pieces. Defend 100 times, 100 yuan. But in this process, if someone defeats you, you will be defeated within 10 times of successfully defending, and there will be no spiritual stone. If you are defeated in more than 10 rounds, you can get 1 spirit stone. If you are defeated in more than 20 rounds, you may get 2 spirit stones, and so on. It is equivalent to saying that if you succeed in defending 9 times and lose the 10th time, you will have no spiritual stone. After successfully defending 10 times and then being defeated, the harvest becomes 1/10. And the person who defeats you will become the new champion and will inherit half of the spiritual stone you should get. During the day, for a total of 8 hours, as long as it is an incoming beast master, anyone who meets the age requirements can participate in the competition and challenge the champion. Until the end of 6 p.m., the last contender will be the biggest winner. Everyone has only one chance. In addition, it is also difficult to find a trustee to brush the spirit stones, and after being discovered, they will not be eligible to participate in the competition. It is also very likely that they will be used as wedding dresses. Because there are some powerful beastmasters, they will choose to show up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, specially to harvest. This kind of competition is held every once in a while. Due to the new situation, the rules are simple and anyone who wants to participate can participate at any time, which is still very popular. Lin Feng quickly got the entry card with the Beastmaster identity card. Then, he came to a ring. Here, it is the ring for the 18 to 19 age group. There are many people. In the ring, at this moment, a leopard was fighting an eagle. The eagle is obviously also a mutant animal, and its strength is quite strong. Not only is it fast, but its claws are also very sharp. Although the leopard is fast, it can't fly. Played round and round by the eagle. This eagle defended 30 games today, right? It seems that whoever wins it will have 15 spirit stones at the start. Difficult. This eagle is a sword-backed eagle. It has a first-order strength. In the age group of 18 or 19, there are not many beast masters with such strength. Several people were discussing quietly there. At this time, after playing with the leopard for a long time, the eagle suddenly accelerated and rushed up, hitting the leopard with one paw. On the leopard's back, blood suddenly poured out. "I surrender," the owner of the leopard said quickly. "Okay, little black." The owner of the sword-backed eagle also said. The sword-backed eagle won the next game again. 31 games. Someone counts. Contestant number 65 wins, start the next game, and the challenger can play. The referee announced. However, no one moved for a while, because these people were not sure. Going up would also give others a record. "Tong Tong, are you sure?" Lin Feng asked Tong Tong in a low voice. Just now, Tong Tong watched the battle of the sword-backed eagle very carefully. "Meow." Tong Tong raised his little paw. "It's no problem." "Then let's go. The spirit stone will see you in the next period of time, Tong Tong." After Lin Feng finished speaking to Tong Tong, he raised his competition card. "This contestant, please enter the ring," the referee said. Lin Feng walked up with Tong Tong in his arms and handed the competition card to the referee. The referee swiped Lin Feng's entry card on a device to complete the competition registration. "Go, Tong Tong," Lin Feng said. "Meow." Tong Tong rubbed Lin Feng and jumped into the ring. "Someone is up." "It's a cat." Below, the Beastmasters with the talent for Beastmasters in other spaces also discussed in a low voice with the surrounding people. Although Tong Tong is very small, some Beastmasters feel that going up is also a reward, but no one makes a mockery of it. After all, they are all people they don't know, who would be so boring to mock others. What if the other party is a child of a big family or a powerful evolutionary? Wasn't that kicking the iron plate? On the other side of the ring, the owner of the sword-backed eagle glanced at Tong Tong, and then he felt relieved. Tong Tong is really small, and he has enough confidence in his sword-backed eagle. "You can get another round," the owner of the sword-backed eagle thought. Until now, he also has some concerns. It's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, and he managed to defend 31 games, counting the opponents he defeated before, once he successfully defended until 6 o'clock. He can obtain at least 60 spirit stones. But if you lose, the harvest will only be 1/10. Some powerful young beastmasters from the big forces want to hide their strength in order to participate in more important competitions. It is estimated that they will not come to cut the beast, but maybe. The owner of the sword-backed eagle figured it out. He didn't take Tong Tong to heart, but worried about those guys who came to cut the beard and harvest after 5 o'clock. Start. At this time, the referee spoke up. Following the referee's order, the sword-backed eagle's wings fluttered and rushed towards Tong Tong. A pair of sharp claws were dispatched. The speed of this guy is really fast. If its opponent is an ordinary human being, the opponent will not even be able to dodge in time, and it will be slapped by it. Even with hot weapons, it may not be possible to hit it. Tong Tong's ears have stood up, and her claws have also been grinding on the ground. Near. The claws of the sword-backed eagle violently grabbed at Tong Tong. This guy has adopted a different style of play when dealing with leopards. The leopard is stronger, and the sword-backed eagle played a bit first, and after successfully making the leopard furious, he found a flaw to determine the outcome. To deal with Tong Tong, this little eagle, this sword-backed eagle obviously decides the outcome with one blow, so that it can defeat more opponents and show its strength. Seeing that the sword-backed eagle is about to charge, Tong Tong's 4 short legs slammed on the ground and rushed out at once. The speed of the sword-backed eagle is fast, and her burst speed is faster. In an instant, I saw that Tong Tong turned into a cat shadow. Before the sword-backed eagle could react, he was attacked by Tong Tong. Wow! The sword-backed eagle let out a cry of pain, and in the cry of pain, the sword-backed eagle flew upside down heavily. It flew upside down more than 10 meters and just hit the iron cage net in front of the owner of the sword-backed eagle. The master of the sword-backed eagle, who was thinking about it, was startled. He stood up and looked at it. His eyes were round and he couldn't believe his own eyes. The sword-backed eagle slid down and fell on the ring without dying. But the injury is obviously not light and he can't stand up for a short time. I go. This cat is a little fierce. Following the front of the sword-backed eagle, he actually knocked the sword-backed eagle flying. This strength and flexibility are simply amazing. Below, the other beastmasters were a little surprised and discussed it one after another. Obviously, the result of this battle was beyond their expectations. Meow! Tong Tong pretended to pounce. I surrender. Seeing Tong Tong's actions, the owner of the sword-backed eagle quickly conceded defeat. The rules of the ring competition also have certain care for the champion. For example, if the challenger can't be defeated within 5 minutes, then the challenger is defeated, and the main one wins. But the sword-backed eagle is like this, how can it last for 5 minutes? After admitting defeat, the owner of the sword-backed eagle quickly went to check his own sword-backed eagle and found that the sword-backed eagle was not lightly injured, but fortunately, it should be able to recover after raising it. Only his spirit stone. This time, the owner of the sword-backed eagle was so depressed that he vomited blood. After working hard for a long time, I ended up making a wedding dress for someone else. He is still guarding against some other young beastmasters who are slightly more famous. Unexpectedly, he was defeated by a cat that suddenly appeared. The owner of the sword-backed eagle vomited blood in his heart and was extremely depressed. Contestant number 96 wins. Start the next game, and the challenger can play. The referee's voice sounded. Tong Tong's victory was announced. I'll come meet the cat. Unlike the sword-backed eagle, this time, a beastmaster who had not dared to join before decided to become Tong Tong. The beastmaster came on the field soon. Lin Feng saw that his contract beast was a monkey. However, unlike ordinary monkeys, the muscles in this monkey simply exploded. Giant monkey. Lin Feng knew about this mutant animal. It is very powerful and flexible. However, there is no advantage in the face of the flying sword-backed eagle. This guy reckoned that he might be able to win against Tong Tong. Start. After the giant monkey came on the court, the referee announced the start. The giant monkey made a strange cry and rushed towards Tong Tong. Tong Tong rubbed his claws on the ground, watching it motionless. Until the giant monkey approached, Tong Tong jumped up with a jump, and the little paws were dispatched again, with a sharp wave. The giant monkey stretched out his hand to block it, but it was useless at all, and was directly hit by Tong Tong's paw. He fell heavily to the ground. Quack! The giant monkey has rough skin and thick flesh, and the degree of injury is lighter than that of the sword-backed eagle, and he still thinks of fighting again. I surrender. However, the owner of the giant monkey quickly conceded defeat. At first glance, you can't beat it, and if you continue to fight, you will be injured. Even if you fight hard and win, it will be in vain, because it will be cheap for the people behind. This is a sparring match. If the injury is too serious, there will be a group of beastmasters with shining eyes waiting to harvest. Therefore, in the defensive competition, it is rare to see a deadly battle. Basically, the signs are not right, so they simply admit defeat. Contestant number 96 wins. Start the next game, and the challenger can play. It's been 2 games. Where did this cat come from? It's kind of interesting. I'll go up and try it. Below, there is another beastmaster eager to try. Anyway, seeing the situation is not right to admit defeat, it is not ashamed. So soon, another beastmaster came up. This beastmaster's contracted beast is not as powerful as the giant monkey. It is purely out of curiosity about Tong Tong's strength. In addition, they have not yet participated in the battle today, so they must have a sense of participation. This kind of competition itself also allows the contracted beasts to have more combat experience and contact more opponents. Therefore, this beastmaster knew that he might not be able to beat it, but he still decided to give it a try. However, as soon as he came up, he was defeated by Tong Tong's claws. I'll try it too. The beastmaster was defeated, and soon, another beastmaster came up. These guys. It's not bad to send records like this. Looking at the beastmasters who were eager to try, Lin Feng thought. He was also worried that Tong Tong's performance was too sturdy, and no one dared to come up. This is just right, defeating one is a spiritual stone. At this time, the beastmasters below who are eager to try, in Lin Feng's eyes, are sparkling spirit stones. Contestant number 96 wins. Start the next game, and the challenger can play. In the ring, the referee's voice kept ringing. One by one, the beastmasters came to power, and then they were quickly defeated by Tong Tong. Tong Tong's way of defeating the opponent is very simple. To deal with those who are not big, one paw is enough, and for those who are big, she uses her flexibility advantage. Basically, 2 paws can also solve the problem. Oh, I can't beat it. Haha, everyone can't beat it. It's nothing. This cat is a bit strong. Well, I don't know which force behind the Beastmaster is. After the failure of the young Beastmasters who came to the stage to try, they gathered together to watch and discuss. Compared to before, after being jointly defeated by Tong Tong, these Beastmasters had more topics to discuss. Tong Tong's strength, I'm afraid it is about to reach the 2nd rank. Lin Feng thought. Before obtaining the Spirit Stone, Lin Feng reached the 1st level when he tested it. Tong Tong itself has not changed much. At that time, Tong Tong's strength would not be much worse than Lin Feng's. Do not. Maybe even stronger than Lin Feng. Because Tong Tong can enjoy multiple bonuses. She enjoys one more beast fighting talent bonus than Lin Feng. The beast defying talent can not only make the space have the function of the beast defending space, but also give certain bonuses to the contracted beasts. Lin Feng, this is a golden 5-star beast master talent. Therefore, just looking at Tong Tong's growth is very likely to be faster than Lin Feng. After obtaining the Spirit Stone, Lin Feng took Tong Tong and spent more than half a month in the space. For the outside world, this half month is only 5 or 6 days, but in the space, Lin Feng and Tong Tong have been practicing for more than half a month. During this period, Tong Tong had several epiphanies. Although Tong Tong's evolutionary direction, Lin Feng is still a little confused. But in terms of pure strength, Tong Tong has strength, and I am afraid it is comparable to a second-order evolutionary. The 25th. Because Tong Tong fought very fast, he defeated 25 Beastmasters who came to challenge in a short time. This means 25 Spirit Stones. Counting the Spirit Stone that defeated the Master of the Sword-Backed Eagle before, this time, the harvest should be good. At this time, it was almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The Beastmasters are still coming up, wanting to meet Tong Tong for a while. By 5:30 p.m., Tong Tong had defeated more than a dozen Beastmasters, completed a 37-game winning streak. At this time, the young Beastmasters present had basically come up. Contestant number 96 wins, start the next game, and the challenger can play. The referee's voice kept ringing. The people who came up began to become sparse. The time is approaching 6 o'clock. I come. A female voice sounded. It's Sun Shirqiu, a member of the Sun family in Beicheng, known as the Pearl of Beicheng. Why is she here? A Beastmaster recognized the speaker. Lin Feng looked and saw a young girl walking up with a giant wolf. After the girl handed the entry card to the referee, she went to the other side of the ring. Lin Feng didn't know each other and didn't care. The mouth of the giant wolf was blowing cold air. The eyes are also a little sharp. Frost wolf, Lin Feng thought. The degree of mutation of this giant wolf seems to exceed that of other mutant animals, not only the strengthening of the body, but also the power of ice. Start, the referee shouted. Following his order, the wolf rubbed its 4 legs and rushed towards Tong Tong. Tong Tong's ears stood up, and her expression was rather serious, which showed that in her perception, the strength of the giant wolf was stronger than the previous opponent. Before it could get close, the giant wolf suddenly rubbed its legs, and a large number of ice picks appeared on the ground around Tong Tong. Good guy, this giant wolf is indeed a frost wolf. Meow. Tong Tong's reaction was quick, avoiding those ice picks with a single jump, and pounced on the frost wolf. The frost wolf opened his mouth and spat out a ball of ice. Tong Tong's little claws shattered the ice. But the claws of the frost wolf called. Obviously, this guy expected that Tong Tong would be able to smash the ice bomb attack it sent. However, this frost wolf obviously underestimated Tong Tong's flexibility. After Tong Tong smashed the ice, he used a jump to avoid the frost wolf's claws again and jumped violently to the face of the frost wolf. The little claws attacked one after another. Ow! The frost wolf was very painful to eat. Claws returned to defense one after another. Tong Tong jumped away fiercely, and his little paws moved again. Next second, only the sound of a thunderbolt of thunder was heard, and a bright electric arc slammed, hitting the body of the frost wolf. I'll go, this cat will discharge. Below, some Beastmasters were startled. Opposite, Sun Shirqiu could not help but stand up. Ow! The frost wolf was hit by the electric arc unprepared. The wolf's body froze, and the wolf hair on his body stood upside down. This time, it's not easy. I surrender. Seeing this, Sun Shirqiu hurriedly said. Even Sun Shirqiu conceded defeat. She is the Pearl of the North City. This cat is a god, powerful and fast, and it still discharges. Seeing this, the Beastmaster below became agitated again. Tong Tong also masters the power of lightning? Lin Feng was also a little surprised. These days, every day, he would give Tong Tong a lecture. Unexpectedly, Tong Tong quietly mastered the power of lightning. Meow. Tong Tong turned around and gave Lin Feng a meow. This is acting like a spoiled child and asking for compliments. Lin Feng gave Tong Tong a thumbs up. Meow. Tong Tong is very happy. Contestant number 96 wins, 6 o'clock is here, and today's sparring match is over. At this time, the referee announced. The bout is over. Lin Feng looked at the screen next to him and saw the spiritual stones he had accumulated. A total of 92 spirit stones. What? This harvest is good. These are 92 spirit stones, please keep them. At the awarding office, a staff member took out the spirit stone. Lin Feng put away the spirit stone. Little brother, the support of the association has been increased recently, and the competition will be held every week. If you are interested, you can come to participate next week. At this time, an old man said to Lin Feng with a smile. Okay, thank you, senior. Lin Feng said. In this game, you can get some spirit stones, and it doesn't waste much time, which is still good. After putting the spirit stone into the space, Lin Feng left with Tong Tong. Hey, Senior MO, what about others? As soon as Lin Feng left, a young girl came over. This girl is Sun Shirchio. The old man pointed to the outside and said, just left. Seeing this, Sun Shirchio chased out, but by the time she caught up, Lin Feng had already left in the car. How can you go so fast? Sun Shirchio was a little depressed. She just happened to see Lin Feng's cat in the live broadcast of the competition, and she thought it was interesting, so she came over specially. Otherwise, in her capacity, these spirit stones are not bad. In the defense competition, the beast masters among the children of the big family seldom participated. This kind of defense competition is mainly for beast masters who do not have any power or background. How could an ordinary beast master be comparable to the children of big forces and big families? People can even eat linkshire every day. Who would have thought that Sun Shirchio, the pearl of the North City, was here and defeated so quickly? I want to get to know Lin Feng, and I want to know how sacred Lin Feng is. But when she finished comforting the Frost Wolf, who was injured but still not convinced, and wanted to fight Tong Tong to the end, Lin Feng had already left. Soon, Lin Feng returned home. Tong Tong, you did a good job this time. After returning home, Lin Feng praised. Tong Tong's performance this time is really good. Even after more than 50 games, they were easily won. The last Frost Wolf was a little bit tricky, but Tong Tong still won it easily. Her strength is not only strong, but also very clever. When fighting, she can also use her combat power to 100%. This is very valuable. Meow. Being complimented by Lin Feng, Tong Tong was overjoyed. Holding his small head, he kept rubbing against Lin Feng. Come on, I'll give you a bath, Lin Feng said. He took Tong Tong into the bathroom and took a hot bath in it. When at home, Lin Feng will take Tong Tong to take a bath at home as long as it is not an accelerated time. The house in the carry-on space is already perfect, and there is a lot of stored water for domestic use. Washing is not a problem, but hot water is still a problem. Of course, the main reason is that Lin Feng is not rich enough now. Not many spirit stones. The architectural talent of space, the built house can be used as an energy source using spirit stones. Put a piece of spiritual stone in, there is no problem with the lights, hot water, and even cooking on a fire. A spirit stone can also be used for a long time. However, at this stage, it is still a bit extravagant for Lin Feng to use spirit stones to do these things in life. It's just a few steps, it's not necessary for the time being. After helping Tong Tong take a bath and taking a bath himself, Lin Feng took Tong Tong back to the portable space. Meow. After returning, Tong Tong became lively. Still comfortable in the space. The aura is thicker than the outside, the air is not polluted, and you can enjoy various bonuses from time to time, not to mention more comfortable. The space is also large enough that Tong Tong can have fun if she wants to. 100 meters long and wide. Lin Feng smashed another spiritual stone, making the spiritual energy in the space thicker again. This concentration is compared to before. If it is compared with the space of some major forces, it is definitely not as good. In the main space of some major forces, the smashing of a pile of spirit stones and a pile of spirit stones, the concentration of aura is terrifying. Just smash another piece. After Lin Feng counted the number of spirit stones, he took out another spirit stone and smashed it. This time, the spirit stone is more concentrated. Okay, Lin Feng is very satisfied. No matter how high the spatial aura concentration of others is, he is not envious. On the contrary, if I say it out, I don't know how many people will envy the godlike space of Lin Feng. Meow. Tong Tong also noticed the change in the spiritual energy and became more lively. Thunderbolt. In the portable space, after resting for a few hours, Lin Feng and Tong Tong practiced together. There are also many ways of attacking the thunder system evolutionary. Using the arc attack directly is the easiest. However, after the strength is further improved, using different methods to attack, the power is also worlds apart. I saw a thunder light from Lin Feng and a thunder light from Tong Tong, constantly hitting the space wall. Soon, Lin Feng discovered that the arc emitted by Tong Tong was somewhat different from the arc emitted by him. Lin Feng's arc has already begun to undergo further changes. Not only is the energy intensity higher, but the shape of the arc is different. After hitting the target, the arc will also explode for an instant, which can increase the damage. It can even be forked and become forked lightning, which can attack more targets. Although the power is scattered, if it is to deal with some beast tides and the like, it will be useful. Tong Tong's arc is the type that goes straight up. Tong Tong, come, I'll teach you. Lin Feng taught Tong Tong again. Meow. Tong Tong sat there, watching intently, occasionally moving her little ears. The scenes seemed to be happy. Thunderbolt. In the portable space, the acceleration started again, and Lin Feng and Tong Tong continued to hang out. As the strength progresses, the consumption of spiritual energy further increases. Now, it only takes 1 day to smash 2 spirit stones. Basically, Lin Feng has to smash 2 pieces every day to ensure enough aura. Although the consumption is large, the improvement is not slow. Fork lightning is basically proficient. Try ball lightning. Lin Feng took out a book and read it. After the acceleration function ended, Lin Feng took the time to go to the Sioux City headquarters of the Evolution Alliance, where he received the book. This book introduces a rather powerful method used by the Thunder Element evolutionary in the early stage. Ball lightning. Turn your own lightning into a lightning ball and release it with great power. Such ball lightning is more difficult than fork lightning. Fork lightning, you only need to control the arc when you attack, so that the arc bifurcates. Ball lightning needs to condense electricity into a ball and maintain its stability until it hits the target before it explodes. This process is not easy to grasp. Some evolutionaries, in the process of training, even hurt themselves. Meow. Tong Tong is learning about forked lightning. Fork lightning is a means of group attack. If the strength is further strengthened, it can also become a means of chain lightning. The power is still good. The evolution of Tong Tong itself is biased towards the physical aspect, and in this aspect, it seems that she does not need to do anything. Therefore, Tong Tong became a studious cat. Every day, I can see her nestling beside Lin Feng, staring at some books and videos, watching nonstop. In this way, after studying for a few hours, Lin Feng stood up and moved. He surveyed his space. The second mutated fruit tree has completely completed the mutation and has become a spiritual plant. It's the result. Lin Feng found that the first mutated fruit tree was already bearing fruit. The fruit is also a little small. With the multiple bonuses provided by space for plants, these fruits should ripen very quickly. That's great. Lin Feng came to the peach tree where Taoyao was. This peach tree, because of Taoyao's change, is also undergoing some changes. Moving closer to Lingji, Taoyao looked bigger, also more delicate. As Lin Feng approached, Taoyao's petals stretched out, as if a beautiful woman came out of the pavilion, which was extremely beautiful. A very fragrant aroma came. Lin Feng's spiritual power extended out, and he felt Taoyao's spiritual consciousness. Taoyao's spiritual sense is much stronger than before. When Lin Feng's spiritual power came into contact with his spiritual consciousness, he could feel Taoyao's joy. A very fragrant aroma diffused. This time the aroma was not hallucinogenic, but it could also make Lin Feng feel happy. Taoyao's changes are also getting bigger and bigger. After staying with Taoyao for a while, Lin Feng looked at other flowers. Other flowers are also growing quite vigorously, and some of them are slowly showing signs of mutation. After reading this, Lin Feng came to a small pond again. This small pond is not big, only about 10 square meters. This is where Lin Feng uses to store water. There is a lot of water in it. Although the pond is small, the water is very clear. These waters have also been soaked in spiritual energy and become quite spiritual. By the pond, a lotus flower bloomed brilliantly. This lotus flower grew up because Lin Fengji went to the pond and threw a lot of lotus root. This lotus root grows like this. On a few round lotus leaves, the lotus flowers bloom very brightly. Lin Feng threw a lot of lotus root to make this small pond less monotonous. Now, the lotus is open and it is still very beautiful. Meow. At this time, Tong Tong came again. Tong Tong came to the pond and looked at the lotus flower as if enjoying it. After admiring for a while, Tong Tong didn't know what to smell, so she jumped to a place not far from the lotus flower and sniffed with her little nose. Meow. Then, she gave Lin Feng a meow. What's the matter, Tong Tong? Seeing Tong Tong's movements, Lin Feng walked over. As an action, Tong Tong is far more sensitive to changes in plants than Lin Feng. Lin Feng came to the lotus. Only then did I find that this lotus flower has also changed. Immediately afterwards, Lin Feng sensed it with his mental power. With this induction, Lin Feng discovered that there was also an extremely weak spiritual consciousness in this lotus flower. But compared to the current Taoyao, it is much weaker. It's like a fetus still in its mother's womb. Although it is weak, the birth of spiritual consciousness also makes this lotus flower completely different from other spiritual plants. Lin Feng did not expect that another flower had changed in the space. Tong Tong did not scare the lotus this time. After thinking about it, Lin Feng took out a spiritual stone and threw it into this small pond. The spiritual energy of this spiritual stone will gradually melt into the water, which may speed up the evolution of the lotus flower. It worked. After a few days in the space, Lin Feng smiled. He succeeded in making ball lightning. Such lightning is indeed more powerful. A small lightning ball, after hitting the opponent, explodes, and the arc will rush in all directions. And if the strength goes up, it can also create a larger lightning ball. Even a strong man has created a huge lightning ball with a diameter of hundreds of kilometers. If such a lightning ball falls in a city, I don't know how many people will be killed. If it is to deal with a large number of enemies, it is completely fine. Between raising your hand, there are a large number of ball-shaped lightning balls, which can directly turn an area into a sea of lightning. Meow. Beside him, Tong Tong stared at Lin Feng with big, cute eyes and wanted to learn. Tong Tong has made great progress. He has learned fork lightning and will further optimize the arc to increase its power and energy intensity. Come on, Tong Tong, I'll teach you. Lin Feng said. Meow. Tong Tong learns. In the space, for Lin Feng, it is not boring. After devoting all your heart to one thing, once the epiphany is triggered, the feeling is very good. Any problems encountered will be solved. That feeling of being able to solve all problems, not to mention so refreshing. In addition, there is Tong Tong as company, Taoyao, and now there is an extra lotus flower. There is still a lot of fun. Seeing that the space keeps getting better and better every day, Lin Feng is also full of satisfaction and achievement. The consumption of spirit stones is further accelerated. The spiritual energy was continuously inhaled by Lin Feng and transformed into his own power. But Lin Feng is actually not a big head. The big head is Tong Tong and other plants. Tong Tong's learning ability is getting stronger and stronger. The essence of ball lightning was quickly grasped by her. It's still a bit difficult for her to release it. However, on this day, she fell into a state of epiphany again. Seeing this, Lin Feng didn't bother her. Looking at the spirit stones, there are still dozens of them. Almost 3 days have passed since the sparring match, and in the space, more than 8 days have passed. You can go early next weekend and watch the whole court. Lin Feng has a plan. At the age of 18 to 19-year-old Beastmasters, Lin Feng felt that the current Tong Tong should be crushed. The proportion of Beastmasters is not large. Some people have calculated that among all the portable spaces, the proportion of spaces with beast defense talent is roughly 5%. 100 people, there will be 5. Some spaces are not pure beast fighting talents, and this is also included. Although the proportion is not large, it is much easier to become a Beastmaster as long as there is room for the talent of Beastmaster compared to becoming an evolutionary. As long as a contracted beast is contracted, it is even a Beastmaster. You don't need to cultivate or awaken by yourself. Therefore, the absolute number of Beastmasters is not small. Because of this, there are many Beastmasters who make up the number. Those who make up the number will not participate in the sparring competition, and there is no rule that they must reach the end. Even if they can admit defeat in time, if their contracted beast is too weak and they are killed with one blow, that is their own problem. It should be fine to guard the court. Lin Feng thought. If you can defend the audience, the profit will be at least 100 spirit stones. Meow. At this time, Tong Tong woke up from the epiphany state. However, as soon as he woke up, Tong Tong suddenly became lazy. Ta Tong, what's wrong? Lin Feng asked. To withdraw from the epiphany state should be in a very good spirit. How could it activate Tong Tong's lazy cat state? Meow. Tong Tong rubbed against Lin Feng, then crawled into Lin Feng's arms. Upon seeing this, Lin Feng picked up Tong Tong. Soon, Tong Tong fell into Lin Feng's arms, lay there, narrowed her eyes, and remained motionless lazily. Tong Tong, what happened? Won't get sick? But Tong Tong's strength is no longer weak. How could he get sick? The temperature in the space is not too low. In fact, the temperature in the space is very suitable and very comfortable. Meow. Tong Tong lay comfortably in Lin Feng's arms, closed his eyes completely, and seemed to want to sleep. Soon, Lin Feng found that Tong Tong was really asleep. This aura. After Tong Tong fell asleep, Lin Feng found that the speed of Tong Tong's absorption of spiritual energy suddenly accelerated. A lot of spiritual energy was absorbed by her. Tong Tong usually doesn't absorb the spiritual energy in a big mouth. Lin Feng thought. The evolution of Tong Tong's body is also very amazing, and the evolution of the body requires the most spiritual energy. When Tong Tong was sleeping, the speed of absorbing spiritual energy was faster, indicating that when she was not sleeping, she was consciously controlling the speed of absorbing spiritual energy. This is saving spiritual energy for Lin Feng. Tong Tong. Thinking of this, Lin Feng touched Tong Tong's little head. Tong Tong is getting more and more sensible. Spirit stone. Lin Feng whispered. It would be great if he had more spirit stones, so that Tong Tong could absorb as much as he wanted, without saving at all. Tong Tong's absorption of spiritual energy is still accelerating. This time, it was her speeding up unconsciously. And faster than usual when she slept. Soon, there was a vortex of spiritual energy around Tong Tong, and a large amount of spiritual energy was being sucked into the body crazily by Tong Tong. In Lin Feng's perception, the concentration of spiritual energy in the entire space is rapidly becoming thinner. Tong Tong must have some new changes, Lin Feng thought. In Lin Feng's view, this is definitely a good thing. Therefore, Lin Feng did not begrudge the spirit stone and immediately took out the spirit stone and crushed it for Tong Tong to absorb. A piece of spiritual stone did not last for too long, but only lasted for more than 2 hours, and it was thin. Lin Feng simply took out 10 spirit stones and smashed them all. The concentration of aura brought by so many spirit stones has risen a lot more than before. But Tong Tong still absorbs it quickly. Every once in a while, it has to be replenished. In the next dozens of hours, Lin Feng smashed nearly 50 spirit stones, and finally, Tong Tong did not absorb it crazy. Instead, it began to fall into a more peaceful sleep. It seemed that she should have absorbed enough spiritual energy. Lin Feng felt that this time, if Tong Tong woke up, there should be some new changes. Lin Feng didn't know what evolutionary route Tong Tong took. It's not the same as other mutant animals anyway. Like the frost wolf, they have good fighting intelligence and the power of ice, but the impression given to Lin Feng is still quite different from Tong Tong in all aspects. I can't see it yet, and when Tong Tong becomes stronger, maybe I can see some clues. Seeing that Tong Tong fell asleep smoothly, Lin Feng put her on the bed. Then he came to a special area. Here is the area that Lin Feng used to train with Tong Tong, and there is a wall at the back to prevent the attacks from him and Tong Tong from destroying the rest of the space. This area is not big. If the space is upgraded to level 2 and the area is further enlarged, Lin Feng can build a larger, dedicated area. Rise. Lin Feng looked at a knife, trying to control it with mental power. The knife slowly floated up. Then he started to move with Lin Feng's thoughts. After the second awakening, Lin Feng's spiritual power is constantly getting stronger. After spiritual awakening, there is more than one direction of evolution. The first is to take the route of pure spiritual strengthening and constantly strengthen the spiritual power and soul. Another is to stimulate the spiritual power to further mutate and become the power of mind, which can be used to control objects. Lin Feng is trying both. In both directions, the strength of spiritual power is fundamental. So, after Lin Feng tried for a while, he went to Tao again. Tao has also undergone significant changes. The effect of her pollen was significantly different than before. After Lin Feng arrived under the peach tree, Big Brother. At this time, Lin Feng seemed to hear a voice in his mind. Although this voice sounded young, it was a little charming. It has the softness of wooing. This reminds Lin Feng of a poem. Zueli Wuyin is so charming. Wuyin, that is, the voice of a girl in the south of the Yangtze River. In the Jiangnan water town, all the girls are succulent. Influenced by the environment and the influence of humanities, Wuyin sounds like it is easy to make the ears pregnant and make the heart fall in love. This voice was not heard by ears, but felt by Lin Feng's spirit. More like mental fluctuations. This is Tao Yao's voice. Tao Yao can speak. Tao Yao. Lin Feng responded with spiritual power. Big Brother, thank you. My pollen has changed. Give it a try to Big Brother. Tao said again. Has Tao Yao's pollen changed? It is good, Lin Feng said. Tao Yao stretched out the petals and released the pollen. Immediately, the fragrance of flowers filled the air. In front of Lin Feng's eyes, some illusions inevitably appeared. Mental strength began to increase rapidly. I don't know how long it took. Lin Feng woke up. At this moment, Tao Yao has fallen asleep again. It seems that he just gave Lin Feng pollen and communicated with Lin Feng, which was a lot of consumption to her. Her pollen efficacy has been stronger than before, but her spiritual consciousness is still evolving. Seeing that Tao also had a new change, Lin Feng couldn't help but smile. I looked at the other trees again, and the fruit of a spiritual plant was beginning to ripen. In addition, 2 more flowers are mutating, and they are obviously different from other flowers. However, these 2 flowers have not yet seen signs of the birth of spiritual consciousness. Let's see what happens next. Tong Tong is still sleeping. The next day, Lin Feng came under the peach tree, and Tao Yao had recovered. Tao Yao, don't talk. I'll teach you some methods. Maybe you can enhance your spiritual sense, Lin Feng said. The current Tao Yao is evolving from a mutated flower to the direction of life. It is equivalent to that she gave birth to a soul, but the soul is still very weak. Although the soul is weak, the evolution of her body, that is, the flower, is very fast. It can be seen from the effect of pollen that it is getting better and better. Lin Feng went to buy a lot of books on spiritual power and soul, and read some books in the space. Then, Lin Feng summed up some methods and prepared to teach them to Tao Yao. Tao Yao was very obedient and didn't make another sound, but slightly stretched the petals of the peach blossom. This is to tell Lin Feng she knows. So, Lin Feng taught it. In the process of teaching, Lin Feng continued to explain in detail. During this process, Tao stretched the petals from time to time and responded to Lin Feng. After some time, Lin Feng finally finished teaching. Next, it's up to Tao Yao herself. I don't know if it can help Tao Yao. After teaching Tao Yao, Lin Feng took another look at the lotus. In the pond, the lotus flowers are blooming more and more. If it is outside, the common lotus is open during the day and closes at night. But in Lin Feng's space, after the lotus has changed, the lotus has always remained open. Such a state is not a burden for the lotus. On the contrary, the lotus can continuously absorb the aura in the water and the air to evolve. The lotus has also changed a lot, and next to the lotus, a lotus pod has grown up. This lotus pod gave Lin Feng a different feeling. Once mature, the lotus seeds inside, after eating, should have some miraculous effects. Lotus's spiritual consciousness has become stronger than before. The rate of strengthening is faster than that of Tao at that time. The reason for the fast is related to Lin Feng's guarantee of sufficient spiritual energy. In the beginning, Tao didn't absorb much spiritual energy, so naturally it couldn't compare to the current lotus flower. Of course, Tao was different now, and Lin Feng also guaranteed her aura. With the perception of Lin Feng's spiritual power, the whole lotus also had a certain response, and the petals of the lotus became more stretched. Now the lotus can also respond to Lin Feng. However, there is no way to communicate with Lin Feng like Tao Yao. After watching the changes in the lotus, Lin Feng left here satisfied. Every day, he would make a tour to see the changes in the plants. After returning to the room, Lin Feng found that Tong Tong was still sleeping. How long has it been sleeping? Sleep. Lin Feng was also quite tired and decided to take a nap. This time, I slept very comfortably. Meow. When he woke up, Lin Feng found that Tong Tong was awake. Tong Tong, are you awake? Lin Feng asked. Meow. Tong Tong raised her little paw and showed Lin Feng her changes. Every time Tong Tong becomes stronger, she likes to show it to Lin Feng. As soon as Tong Tong's little claws moved, a rather large thunderball was released by her, rushed into the sky, and smashed into the dome of the space, turning it into a sea of thunder. Tong Tong has completely mastered the ball lightning. Immediately afterwards, Tong Tong showed the changes in her body. As soon as her little claws moved, a stone specially used for training was easily shattered by her little claws. Her claws are now harder than steel. Strength and speed, I am afraid that it has also improved a step further. Moreover, Lin Feng felt that there was a strange energy on Tong Tong's paws. This energy is very different from the energy in the evolutionary body. It is also very different from other mutant animals. This made Tong Tong's attacks more sharp, and in the face of energy-type attacks from others, he also had more ways to counterattack. What kind of energy is this? Lin Feng was a little curious. The energy this energy gave him was very pure. Meow. Immediately afterwards, Tong Tong showed her terrifying jumping power. I saw her jump, and she jumped more than 20 meters high. This means that her physical strength has further increased. Compared with before, Tong Tong's physical strength has become quite terrifying now. This time, after Tong Tong absorbed the spiritual energy from so many spiritual stones, he became even more powerful. Meow. After Tong Tong finished showing, he looked at Lin Feng with big bright eyes. Well done, Tong Tong. Lin Feng praised. Meow. Tong Tong was overjoyed. On this day, Tong Tong was very busy, jumping around in the space, and went to find Tao Yao and Lotus. At night, Lin Feng felt a great heat flow in his body. Tong Tong's feedback came. The feedback this time was good. When I woke up the next morning, Lin Feng's body was much stronger. In the next few days, Lin Feng found that Tong Tong was eating more than before. The demand for spiritual energy has also further increased. The spirit stone is gone. On Saturday, more than 90 spirit stones were completely used up. This is still Lin Feng's use. Although it ran out, this week's harvest was good. Tong Tong's evolution should have opened a new stage. It's getting stronger in every way. Lin Feng himself has also become much stronger. However, Tong Tong's changes are increasing every day, and the feedback to Lin Feng every day is a lot stronger than before. Tong Tong, go to bed early today, and tomorrow morning, let's go to guard. Lin Feng said to Tong Tong. Meow. Early the next morning, Lin Feng took Tong Tong out of the house with a refreshing look. Not long after, he came to the stadium for the defending competition. This time Lin Feng came quite early, just to be ready to fight all day. Why so many people? Although it came early, Lin Feng found that someone came earlier than him. And a whole bunch of people. In front of the venue, Hundreds of people have come. At this time, the fighting competition has not started yet. However, a lot of people is a good thing. You can give Lin Feng more records. Lin Feng stepped forward, ready to queue up to enter the venue. He came. At this time, a person saw Lin Feng, his eyes lit up, and he shouted. The others turned their heads one after another and saw Lin Feng and Tong Tong in Lin Feng's arms. It's him. It didn't come in vain this time. He defeated Sun Shurchio last week. Some children of the big family publicly stated that they would come to challenge him this week. This time there is a good show to watch. I will also challenge this cat to see how strong this cat is. The crowd stirred. Seeing that there are many people here, it seems that many people are coming towards him, but Lin Feng is very calm. It seems that a lot of people watched the live broadcast of the game last week. In addition, defeating the Frost Wolf in the end probably caused some repercussions. So many people came this week. Soon, Lin Feng entered the venue. Just arrived at 8 o'clock, and there are already a lot of people. Not everyone is here for Lin Feng. There are also many people from other age groups. These people each went to the ring of their own age group. However, the largest number of people are in the arena between the ages of 18 and 19. The game starts today. The referee made the announcement. No one took the stage, and many people looked at Lin Feng. Upon seeing this, Lin Feng boarded the ring. Immediately after stepping into the ring, there was the first contestant. I'll challenge this cat. The first person came on stage. This person is also carrying a wolf. This wolf is not as powerful as Sun Shurchio's Frost Wolf. After Tong Tong became powerful, he was defeated by Tong Tong in just one round. Contestant number 1 wins, start the next game, and the challenger can play. The referee is still the same. I'm coming too. Another person came on stage and then quickly retreated. If you lose the challenge, come down quickly. There are so many people behind. A Beastmaster felt dissatisfied that the loser stepped down too slowly. Soon, it was his turn to play. He trotted up and then, within half a minute, trotted down again. I can't beat it, this cat is really strong. The Beastmaster said to his companions. It seems that such a powerful cat has never appeared before, right? Companion rode. The two looked up. In this way, in front of this arena, the Beastmaster kept going up and down. Just after 10 o'clock, there were dozens of contracted beasts defeated by Tong Tong. Sun Shurchio is here. At this time, someone noticed Sun Shurchio's arrival. This time, Sun Shurchio didn't come alone, but also brought another girl. Shurchio, did your Frost Wolf lose to this cat? The girl looked at Tong Tong in the ring and said. Sun Shurchio nodded. Well, but last week I entered the family's acceleration space and fed a lot of spiritual fruit to the Frost Wolf, and the strength of the Frost Wolf has risen a lot. I am going to challenge again this week. After speaking, she just saw that a challenger had failed, so she quickly raised the competition card in her hand. By the afternoon, the cat's consumption must be very large, and it will be a bit invincible. Sun Shurchio said. After that, the referee selected her, and Sun Shurchio once again entered the ring. It's this Frost Wolf again. On one side of the ring, Lin Feng looked at the Frost Wolf. Sun Shurchio was looking at Lin Feng across the ring. The Frost Wolf lost last week and has not been able to get back on his feet. This week, its strength has improved a lot, and the cold air it exhales is almost condensed into reality. This guy is spitting out cold air, and his eyes have become a little sharp. It is going to find its way back. Below, the Beastmasters watching the battle also cheered up one by one. Start. The referee's voice sounded. Following the referee's voice, Frost Wolf took the initiative to attack. The first blow is still icicles everywhere. This time, the ice pick is more powerful and faster. However, Tong Tong's reaction was still as fast as ever, and he avoided the ice pick with a single jump. Not only that, Tong Tong can also look at the tip of the ice pick and walk on it, as if walking on the ground. Seeing Tong Tong approaching, Frost Wolf's eyes glowed with a cold light, and when he opened his mouth, it was an ice bullet. Tong Tong's claws moved, shattering the ice bomb. The sharp wolf claws of the Frost Wolf grabbed at Tong Tong. At the same time, its body was instantly covered with an imperceptible layer of ice armor. The rhythm of the battle, at first glance, is somewhat similar to that of the previous week. However, Frost Wolf learned his lesson, and after improving his strength, he was prepared. If Tongnong is still the same as last week, after dodging the Frost Wolf's claws and attacking with an arc, the Frost Wolf's ice armor can play a big role. This kind of ice armor, with the strength of the Frost Wolf, has no way to maintain it for a long time, but it is enough to block one blow. On the opposite side, seeing the Frost Wolf's wolf claws attack, this time, Tongtong did not choose to avoid the wolf claws. Rather, as soon as the little paw moved, it called out. She chose to be tough. Last week, it was a little difficult for her to be tough, because the Frost Wolf was bigger and stronger. But this week, it's different. In the blink of an eye, Tongtong's and Frost Wolf's claws collided. Seeing that Tongtong couldn't avoid it, Frost Wolf didn't expect it, but it was exactly what it meant. But right away, it felt a terrible force hit. Ow! The Frost Wolf screamed in pain, and the whole wolf flew out backwards. I'm going hard. This cat is getting stronger again. This Frost Wolf will never want to beat this cat again. Below, others spoke up. How so? On the opposite side, Sun Shirchio was also stunned. Seeing that Tongtong was about to pursue the victory, Sun Shirchio hurriedly said, I admit defeat. Shirchio, do you want me to go? On the ring, looking at Tongtong who entered the battle again, Sun Shirchio's companion said. Sun Shirchio shook his head, you probably won't be able to beat him. I don't know how he was trained. This cat is too strong. She didn't leave, just watched. The battle continues. Until noon, no contracted beast from a beast master could beat Tongtong. There is an hour break at noon. Hello, I'm Sun Shirchio. Taking advantage of the break, Sun Shirchio found Lin Feng and introduced himself. Lin Feng, who was feeding Tongtong, raised his head and glanced at her, gave a faint, oh, lowered his head again, and handed a piece of fish to Tongtong. Sun Shirchio couldn't help but stagnate. As the Pearl of the North City, he took the initiative to strike up a conversation, but he was actually left out. Can we add a friend? We can communicate later. Although Lin Feng was neither salty nor bland, Sun Shirchio continued. It is good. This time, Lin Feng did not refuse. Thanks. Sun Shirchio successfully added Lin Feng and wanted to say a few words to Lin Feng, but Lin Feng continued to feed the fish again. Your cat is very strong, but a few people are going to snipe you in the afternoon. You have to be careful. After thinking about it, Sun Shirchio decided to remind Lin Feng. Sniper? It should be ready to cut the beard or harvest. After all, if Lin Feng wins this day, he will definitely gain a lot. Thanks, Lin Feng said. No need, 88. Sun Shirchio said goodbye and left. Shirchio, what background does this person have to ignore you, so arrogant? After leaving, Sun Shirchio's companion couldn't help. Sun Shirchio said, I think it's okay. Don't we usually ignore those who strike up a conversation? But you're the Pearl of Beijing. The companion couldn't understand and was treated so coldly by Lin Feng. Why wasn't Sun Shirchio angry? Okay, let's go. After the noon break, the sparring match continued. One morning, Lin Feng's harvest was not bad. Because the battle was resolved quickly, the harvest in one morning was almost as good as one day last week. In the afternoon, many beastmasters came. The competition was also broadcast live on Suching's website. Although few people would pay attention to it except for the beast masters who had the talent for beasts, there were still some people who paid attention in general. Some people have never seen a cat so fierce and naturally want to come for a while. Therefore, in the afternoon, there was still a steady stream of beast masters. Until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, more than 140 opponents had been defeated by Tong Tong. This cat is dead, and it's been so long that it doesn't show any signs of fatigue. Yeah, those who want to pick up leaks in the afternoon are probably going to be disappointed. Look at those big family children. Under the arena, the beast masters whispered, "Come on, this is Wang Bei of the Wang family." After 5:30, someone saw the first big clan son who was killed. The beast masters cheered up and watched. As a son of a big family, Wang Bei has a temperament higher than that of ordinary people. However, when he came to power, the Beastmasters below found that Wang Bei's temperament was a little worse than Lin Feng's. This made some Beastmasters feel even more that Lin Feng must be the descendant of some big family. Wang Bei's contract beast is a rather majestic tiger. Golden striped tiger. There was a Beastmaster who knew the goods and called out his name. I heard that this tiger is a bit fierce, and it is taking the evolutionary route of strength and defense. Another Beastmaster learns more. A huge tiger, compared with Tong Tong, is a standard behemoth. These Beastmasters are looking forward to it. Start. The referee gave an order. The golden-striped tiger held its head proudly and did not take the initiative to attack. It is also a cat family. This tiger has its own pride, and he looks down on the little child Tong Tong. Meow. Feeling the contempt in the golden-striped tiger's eyes, Tong Tong was angry, and after a cry, he rushed forward. Roar. The golden-striped tiger roared, and when it saw Tong Tong moving, it also pounced on Tong Tong. Welcome it. It's a ball of lightning. Thunderbolt. The terrifying ball lightning struck the golden-striped tiger. Although the golden-striped tiger had a strong defense, this time it was struck by the electricity, and all the tiger hairs were turned upside down, and the body froze. Tong Tong rushed up, waving her little paw. The golden-striped tiger, which had been arrogant just now, was immediately beaten by Tong Tong and rolled on the ground, unable to fight back. Below, the beast masters were dumbfounded. On the opposite side, that Wang Bei was also dumbfounded. I surrender. Wang Bei had to admit defeat. Are we still on? Seeing that Wang Bei lost, a big family member was a little cowardly. Superior. Another big family boy raised the participation card. All the Beastmasters are looking forward to it again. But, just a minute later, the Beastmaster walked out of the ring with a dark face. He also lost. Below, the expectant Beastmasters were dumbfounded one by one. Seeing this, there were some cowardly big family children before, and they refused to say anything. However, being pushed by Wang Bei and another big clan son, this guy also bite the bullet. It seems to be from the Qin family. I feel hanging. After 2 consecutive disappointments, the Beastmaster didn't have much expectations for him. Really. In less than a minute, the children of this big family were also defeated and stepped down from the stage wanting to cry without tears. Soon, the 4th big family son also came to power. This guy's contracted beast is also an eagle, which is very fast and can roll up a cyclone. However, in front of Tong Tong, who has become a lot stronger, it is still not enough to see. His contracted beast kneels again in seconds. These big family children who wanted to defeat Tong Tong and show it in front of Sun Shurqiu, this time, they were all wiped out. Seeing the beast masters below, they looked at each other in dismay. At this time, it was 6 o'clock. Today's fight is over again. Tong Tong beat all challengers with absolute strength. 178 spirit stones. Today's harvest is bigger than last week, almost twice as much as last week. A full 178 spirit stones. This aura concentration is good. In the portable space, Lin Feng smashed 10 spirit stones at one time. Compared with last week, Lin Feng's handwriting is bigger. After all 10 spirit stones were smashed, the concentration of spirit energy in the portable space reached a new level. 178 spirit stones, persisting for a week, should be enough. Say it after you're done. Tong Tong, just absorb it, don't save it. Lin Feng touched Tong Tong's little head and said, Meow. Tong Tong meowed. The aura was further enriched. Lin Feng's physical strength also increased further. Recently, he has begun to use the gravitational talent of space to train his body's reflexes in the training area. The means of the evolutionary, where possible, the more the better. Physical strength is also very important. There's also combat experience, reflexes, and more. Gravity talent, you can change the gravity. After increasing the gravity, it can increase the effect of training. In addition, if you can constantly adapt to different changes in gravity, you will not be so passive in the face of some evolutionaries who can manipulate the force field. Lin Feng is also working on other forces recently. After staying in the space for a long time, Lin Feng found that his affinity for other powers was also on the rise. After spending a day in the space, Lin Feng discovered that the fruit of the first spiritual plant had already matured. Lingji is mature. Lin Feng smiled. He picked a fruit. This fruit is white. There is a lot of energy in it. Lin Feng took a bite. As a spirit fruit, this fruit has a very good taste. Shortly after eating, a warm current appeared inside the body, moisturizing Lin Feng's body. Tong Tong, give you one. Lin Feng picked another spirit fruit and handed it to Tong Tong. Meow. Tong Tong ate. Soon, Lin Feng finished eating a spiritual fruit. This spirit fruit gave Lin Feng the feeling that the effect was very good. After Tong Tong finished eating one, he didn't want to move and entered the lazy cat mode again. Lin Feng, on the contrary, felt a strong warm current in his body. This spiritual fruit nourishes the body. Lin Feng thought. Different spirit fruits have different effects. The specific effect depends on the type of spiritual plant. This spiritual fruit nourishes the body and can make the body stronger. In fact, the body is the root of the evolutionary. No matter what kind of evolutionary it is, in the end, the body can become quite powerful. Of course, there will also be some differences, such as some power and defensive evolutions, and those who use martial arts to start their own evolution, and their bodies are stronger than others. Why do you still want to eat? At this time, Lin Feng suddenly felt very hungry and wanted to eat. So, Lin Feng ate another one. Once you eat it, you can't stop. Soon, Lin Feng ate all the spiritual fruits from the first spiritual plant. After eating, I was finally not so hungry. But the energy in the body is about to explode. No, you have to digest this energy. Lin Feng's eyes were flushed. He quickly came to the gravity zone where he punched. This is a basic punch. Can be used to speed up the digestion of energy. Gravity is not enough. Increase it by 5 times. Lin Feng opened the operation panel of the space and increased the gravity of this area to 5 times. Equivalent to 5 times the gravity of the Earth. Under such gravity, it is difficult for ordinary people to even stand. But Lin Feng just found it enjoyable. He threw his fists in full concentration. Lin Feng was fascinated. Unconsciously, Lin Feng triggered another epiphany. The energy in the body is constantly being digested. I don't know how long it took. Lin Feng threw a punch. Boom. The air in front of it seemed to have turned into a wall of air, and it shook violently. It even made a shocking sound. This is Lin Feng's punch too fast, shaking the air. Lin Feng also woke up suddenly. This is fist intent. Lin Feng was surprised at first, but also delighted. Fist. Evolvers who start their own evolution through martial arts practice not only practice the body, but also all kinds of true meanings. The effect of sincerity is very large. Otherwise, how to compete with those who master the terrifying evolution of thunder or flames? That is supernatural power. When a thunderbolt enough to shatter steel comes down, what do you do to stop it? Use your body to resist? Or with a tiny sword? However, once you grasp the true meaning, it is completely different. Boxing is also a kind of true meaning. By practicing boxing and mastering the meaning of boxing, it is equivalent to the awakening of those who practice martial arts. That is to say, the current Lin Feng has awakened again by practicing boxing. 3 awakenings.